illegal immigrant criminal that we stop is one that we can stop at the border. It's also, I think it's good for the entire hemisphere. It's good for those countries. It's good for those people.
So it's lowering crime if we don't allow undocumented immigrants in? You're saying that?
It is one thing, but it is really the best benefit is for those undocumented immigrants because they are no longer making that journey.
But if they commit less crime per capita, which the data shows that, why would lowering them coming in lower overall crime rates? If anything, wouldn't it raise it?
Well, I'm not talking about the crime. I'm just saying every illegal immigrant who, commits a crime against someone, right? We have our own domestic crime problem, and we have to deal with that our way. But illegal immigrant crime is something we can stop at the border or at our ports.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is saying that people who are undocumented immigrants who commit those sorts of crimes shouldn't have been stopped.
Right.
I think that's all that's being said is that number one, that they don't commit the most crimes per capita, and there was they commit the least. They actually commit the least crimes per capita, and I just don't see how this overall is still affecting how it's making American lives necessarily better, though.
Well, for American lives, I think securing the border doesn't just stop immigration. It does take a bite out of the drug cartels, and that's a good thing. But also, when you have illegal immigrants,
less drugs are coming here.
Less drugs are coming through that sector.
Through that, why you cut out there a little bit.
He's basically
you cut out there.
Are coming through the border. That's good. Okay. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Well,
less drugs are coming through the border.
Can you show that less drugs overall are coming through the border? You guys are 10,000 likes. We can get to
moment, but yeah, I don't have it at this moment. But I think that's what it is. They're now coming through other pathways. This is why another thing I'm happy about is that Trump has basically greenlit a lot of action against drug cartels in Latin America, in Mexico, in Ecuador, in Colombia. So that's something I always wanted.
Well, that's another topic, the whole drug war. But the whole drug war is a whole other topic that we clearly have not won,
right, but
and that we clearly are not winning.
Immigration is kind of connected to that, but when you have illegal immigrants in the country...
Not particularly, though. How is it connected to it, though? The majority of drugs that come in here don't come in via undocumented immigrants. They come in via U.S. citizens.
Right, but drug cartels are involved in the smuggling of illegal immigrants, in those smuggling pathways. Another thing is those people come. Hold on, those people come because their countries are overrun by drug cartels. So, if those problems are fixed, then they stop necessarily coming up here. Because the alternative is we just serve as a constant landing pad for their problems. Why not make those countries great again?
Okay, but don't you think if we just made if we made substance just at the very least decriminalized, don't you think that maybe would help things? That would give them less of an incentive to want to come here. I mean, we've been trying to battle this problem for decades and decades now, and it clearly hasn't really gotten better. It's gotten worse, actually.
We could make certain drugs illegal. That could help in some ways. We could also go much harsher and start executing drug dealers. I mean, if we started that would also solve the problem.
How would that work?
We never tried that.
Well, what kind of drug dealers? So, like people who sell what kind of substances?
I mean, if you start with fentanyl, heroin, right? If you started with those, right? If you started executing dealers of that while also taking over the supply of it, and cutting it off, I'm just saying, I don't know if it will work, but we never tried it. So
yeah, but we typically do see that when it comes to more harsh sentences, when it comes to those types of things, we don't see a reduction of those things occurring at all, actually. And the problem with that is then where are you going to put the cap on that? Is it going to be a certain substance, a certain amount of the substance? I'm not sure that we should go down that road to unaliving substance dealers.
Why not? I mean, I don't believe in people in heroin.
You're cutting out there. You're cutting out. I couldn't hear you. Guys, 10,000 likes, new guess. You're starting to cut out, man.
You may want to...
You're cutting out.
You
there?
Sorry.
You're still cutting out.
At a certain point, you may want to take your tactic at that.
You're still cutting out. All right, you can come back up when you're not on the road or whatever. Anyways, guys, keep tapping and sharing. We are looking for opposition, okay? If you're enjoying live, make sure you follow myself. Make sure you guys send in the heart me as well, okay? Please, thanks. All right, let's get to the next one. Presidents don't decide fuel prices. Correct. That's the whole point. Thanks for understanding. All right. Thank you. All right. We don't have anybody else in our requests, but no, we don't. We don't have anybody else in our request box. So let's try to invite people up. And again, if you are in opposition, you can also request yourself to come on up. Okay. Yeah. All right. Once again, guys, when it comes to the prices of things, all we could be using here is the averages. Okay, that's still the best way to track things consistently. At least in this specific scenario, just use national averages. Doesn't matter where you are or where gas is. We're going off national averages. That's it. Before you say it, that blue areas make the average higher, well, then cheaper areas make the average lower. That's how averages work, okay? So that's why we're using averages. Shouldn't be a hard concept to grasp. Yeah, Sir Bobcat, again, I think you guys purposely don't understand nuance at all when you say something like that. Right? It's not like one answer is applicable to all. Yeah, typically, again, presidents don't control gas. There are times in which they can. There's times in which indirectly they can. It shouldn't be that hard to be able to figure this out. All right, but if you guys can tap and share and send in a heart me, and if you've ever Trump, hit the request button, please. All right, let's get to this guest here. Hi, how you doing?
What's up, Austin? How's your day going? Or morning?
It's going. It's going. I appreciate it. How about yours? You having a good day?
Yeah.
Cool. I just need to know your age before we move forward. How old are you?
Sorry.
Cool. What's going on?
Not here to argue, but where I'm from, it just went down $2.
You said $2? You're on mute. Did you say $2? Did I hear you correctly? You're on mute, Frank. Frank. Going once, Frank. Going Frank. Better say going Frank twice.
You said what? Can you hear me?
Did you say $2? Yeah. Did you say $2?
Yeah, where I'm at in Iowa. Yeah.
It's lower $2 from when?
Iowa. I would say 2 months ago, or not even 2 months ago. I'm not gonna lie. It was probably about a month and a half ago. It's $2 down.
It's went down $2 in a month and a half.
No, it's down. It was $6. Now it's like $4.
In Iowa,
it was like,
you said Iowa. I'm gonna look up Iowa averages. Iowa averages currently right now are about 353. At its peak, it was 435. That's an 80-cent difference.
So that's wrong, but I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Well, this isn't my word. This is using the data.
I can type in anything, though, boss man. I can type in anything.
It's not me typing in anything. This is how. Do you not know how to look things up? Frank, because you don't have to.
You're starting to get mad. That's I came in here. I was just trying to be respectful.
Because you don't have to live somewhere in the year 2026 to know about said area. There's a super cool thing called the internet, and if you know how to use it, and you have 2 brain cells, and you use it correctly, you can actually find really good information on the internet. You can use what's called primary sources, and you can also run away. You can find primary sources and look up pretty good information, such as gas prices. Not a difficult thing to look up. Really not that hard. Nowhere has it gone down $2 in the last month and a half. You can't just take your word for it. Again, that's why we have things called sources. Hi.
So I live in one of the most reddest MAGA counties in the country.
I just need to know your age. I just need to know your age.
47.
All right.
47.
All right, what's up?
And our prices go up weekly thanks to Trump's policies.
Okay. I am just looking for opposition. Doesn't sound like you're opposition, are you?
No, I'm just
No,
talking
that's
shit.
fine. No, you're good, man. You're good. Let me go ahead and bring you down. I hope you take care. Guys, anyone looking for opposition, please? Make sure you guys keep tapping and sharing and send in your heart me if you haven't done so. Okay. All right, let's get to the next one here. Okay. Susie?
Oh no, I'm
How are we?
sorry. I'm sorry. It was a mistake. I was tapping.
No worries. You're okay. You're okay. Take care. All right, next one. Keep tapping and sharing, everyone. Send in your heart me too if you can. Hi, how are you?
Good.
I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
Yeah, 35.
All right, what's going on?
Nothing. I was going to answer your prompt. Why hasn't
Okay.
Trump made groceries or gas cheaper?
Did you happen to vote for Trump? I'm looking just for debates.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead.
No.
What do you got?
Yeah, well, when your monetary policy has a 2% inflation rate baked into it, unless the president is going to override the Federal Reserve's mandate, how would he do that?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to lower prices, but he said that he would, so I'm just holding the guy accountable.
Well, when he talks about lowering prices, he's talking about keeping the inflation rate stable, right? That's what our
That's what
mandate
he
is.
meant? You sure that's what he meant?
I mean, unless he doesn't understand monetary policy, and I'm pretty sure he probably does. A lot of dumb MAGA voters probably don't.
All right, so he wasn't saying it literally that he was going to lower prices.
Well, if you understand monetary policy, then you would understand what he was talking about when he said lowering prices.
Then why is it when I talk to some Trump supporters, they claim that prices are lower because of him?
Because they're stupid and they don't understand monetary policy, and they probably got a education from some, I don't know, terrible public school.
Okay. What is Trump doing right now that's helping the economy?
Yeah, I would just simply make the argument that this country was facing a crisis in our bond market. In 2025, we had about $10 trillion that needed to get refinanced, which was about 30% of the debt. I believe the tariffs and this war is helping keep up the welfare state that we've created.
So the war is helpful. Is that the reason why you think he went to war?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
It's the reason why we went to Iraq.
Okay. So what about the other reasons that he has mentioned? So you're telling me that he's just lying to people about that?
It's propaganda to buy Americans' consent to make the war popular.
Why would you vote for a guy who's willing to lie this much?
Well, I mean, all politicians lie, and to be honest with you, if the war was inevitable, I'd much rather have Trump handling it than Harris.
Who said the war was inevitable?
Well, how else would you have created a situation to fix what was going on?
What was going on that we had to go to war?
Yeah, so when the world starts divesting, specifically the top three purchasers, which was, the top three holders, you have China, India, and Brazil, are divesting from your treasury market, and you have a large supply of treasuries that you need to refinance of a tune of 10 trillion. If no one's willing to purchase them at the rate that you need them to, you have to create a situation that'll happen.
So we go to a war with another country and we unalive some of their people and fuck up their infrastructure?
It's what we did in Iraq, yep. And then you pay for the infrastructure to create more demand for the dollar. I don't agree with it. I'm just telling you what that's what we do. Do you disagree?
Maybe we should stop doing that.
I agree with you, but I don't think Harris was going to stop it.
Well, I don't think she was going to be going to war with Iran.
I think that, again, the war was inevitable considering Iran's tied to Ukraine. If she didn't do it, I think we would have been in a lot more trouble, to be honest.
What trouble would we have been in?
Yeah, so, I mean, there's clearly a move by BRICS to replace the dollar as the world reserve currency. And the way our economy is structured right now, we need to be able to offshore treasuries in the international market. If not, we wouldn't be able to finance our debt.
Okay, but couldn't we have done other things that maybe didn't harm other people, didn't harm other countries to finance our debt, so to speak? Maybe we didn't have to Drop taxes on the rich. That could have been one thing.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you can make that argument. I'd also agree that we should have cut spending. I mean, even if you wanted to raise taxes on the rich by 100%, it still wouldn't close the gap of the deficit spending we're doing, even if you took all their wealth. So you still need to cut spending.
Well, no, because it absolutely could. Our deficit tends to get better under Democrat presidents, as we have seen historically over the last couple of decades.
Yeah, I mean, typically they're running under Republican tax policies, though. Like, for example, Obama ran under Bush's tax policy. He also had 0% interest rates, and Biden was under the TCJA. So, and revenue rise by $1 trillion.
Okay, but on a per capita, it didn't, though. So
Per capita for what, though?
Well, what I'm saying is, of course, yeah, over time, there's going to be more revenue coming in. You're insinuating that we cut taxes and then more revenue came in, right?
Yeah, I don't really believe even when Democrats raise taxes, it's not in the purpose of raising more revenue. So, like, for example, Biden's 15% minimum tax in the Inflation Reduction Act had a bunch of demand side sort of policy in it where you could spend money on green energy to avoid this 15% tax. So I think Democrats use taxation more to drive behavior and spending, and Republicans typically just drive it so that we have more spending overall.
What was the last part they raised? What was the first part they said? Democrats do what with taxes?
Yeah, they typically raise taxes to change behavior in the market, not to collect more revenue.
But it can collect more revenue.
Not if you're changing behavior. No, like if I tell you, hey, you have a 15% minimum tax, but if you spend $1 billion on green energy, you don't have to pay it. You're not raising more revenue. You're just directing where the capital investment's going to go. And that's in green energy.
Sure, but all else being equal, we would be taking in more revenue, right? Versus cutting taxes on the rich.
No, not necessarily, because you're just redirecting capital that may have been spent or otherwise spent elsewhere, and the revenue is not going to go up because, again, it's a tax write-off that's built into the policy.
So wait, so why wouldn't revenue go up?
Because it's a tax write-off. So if they say, hey, there's a 15% minimum tax unless you spend X amount of money on green energy, and that would give you the ability to write it off, then you wouldn't actually pay the tax. They're just directing your spending.
Okay, but if that were true, we wouldn't have seen taxes. We wouldn't have seen income historically go up every time that we've seen taxes go up, though.
Well, you see,
I mean, we can always point to previous tax policies and see income go up afterwards.
Well, I think there's more of a greater correlation between money supply increase and tax revenue increase. I think that would be a better indicator. Like if you look at the M2.
So, so what about the M2? How would that be a better indicator of it?
Yeah, so like I would just simply make the argument that even under the TCJA, even though revenue went up, it wasn't necessarily because of tax policy. It was because we printed trillions of dollars. So naturally, revenue would go up. And revenue went up $1 trillion under the TCJA. But I wouldn't make the argument that it was because of the TCJA. It was because of the demand-side policy from both administrations.
Okay, all right. Back to the topic. So what is Trump specifically doing right now that is helping the economy?
Yeah, so I think part of the tariff negotiations indirectly helped us leverage Great Britain, Japan, and Canada, and Belgium specifically, start purchasing the bonds that China, Japan, and Brazil weren't. This helps us because it helps manage the secondary bond market. And it ensures that our basically the dollar doesn't collapse, right? We need people to buy our debt.
Okay. Are you for? So when it comes to tariffs, are you for his blanket tariffs?
No, I'm anti-tariffs altogether, and I don't believe in tariffs.
Okay,
but I understand. But like, what else are you going to do in the situation? Like, maybe you could tell me what we should have done.
Well, that's a multifaceted response. We can get into that. That's fine. What's up, Liv? How you doing, man?
Good, brother.
Hey, doing pretty good. You wanted to chime in?
Yeah. He's just running around, beating around the bush. The Tax Cut and Jobs Act underperformed in regards to what it was supposed to do as per the Trump administration, because
this guy
it
just
underdeveloped.
doesn't answer questions.
it underperformed when it came to business investments, which was the main driver, especially when you're talking about supply side economics. And then to say that a secondary effect of blanket tariffs was, hey, they're buying our debt now after we crashed the market and attacked the global economy is absolutely fucking stupid.
Okay.
So,
well, first of all, if you're talking about investment under the TCJA, that went in 2018. We had C-19 happen immediately after that. So it's really hard to engage in that conversation because the world shut down for like 2 years. So you're just being disingenuous. Like you were on the other end that I was on.
Apologies. When was the Tax Cut and Jobs Act put into place?
Went into place 2018.
Okay, so we would have in that year. Are you telling me I can't pull up evidence that shows that it underdeveloped on business investment before?
Yeah, I mean,
that 2 years. I'm sorry, before that 2 years before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So do we have? I'm asking a direct and specific question. Do we have evidence that within the first 2 years prior to the pandemic that it underperformed on business investment?
You made the claim, so I don't know. Do you have evidence?
I'm asking you. I didn't you first before I pull it up. Okay, go 1 second.
Hey guys, keep tapping and share. We can get to a new guest at 30K.
First of all, you should also tie in the fact we were doing quantitative tightening at the time, and interest rates were rising, which usually causes investment to slow. So I hope you consider that into the equation of whatever study you're going to bring up or chart.
Okay, cool. And if you guys can send in the heart me there, that's at the top left. That would be great. And if you're enjoying life, follow myself and live. Show a little bit of support if you can. Okay.
And also he's shadowboxing me. I never even made the claim that the TCJA brought in more investment. So I don't even know where he's getting that from. Honestly, I don't even care about that.
Okay.
So I don't
wait.
This guy, why'd you bring him? Dude, this guy is the worst guy on TikTok. Like I debated him yesterday. He's so bad faith.
What don't you
he
like
debates
about
points that people don't even make.
Okay. All right. Well, you will be coming back in just a minute, I'm sure. So you're welcome to talk to him from there.
Yeah, I mean, he's debating me on a point I didn't even make.
Okay. Well, when he comes on back, you can bring that up to him. That's fine. Were you on his live yesterday?
Or no, I was on somebody else's, and he was just making these ridiculous. He just doesn't engage, man. Like this guy doesn't know how to have a discussion.
Okay. All right. Well, we shall see.
So I'm just going to show you the title, and you can go look this up later. No, also, yeah. You can read later. I'm just going to show you. It's from the American. Hold on.
Are you conceding that you're trying to even debate me on something I didn't even make a point
on?
No,
I'm telling you. No, you didn't hear the point that I made. I said that in regards to the Trump administration, what they said it was supposed to do, it underperformed.
What is
and
this
so when Trump
me?
is telling me, when Trump is touting that it's going to spur business investment and be benefit to the American people, and I look at the 2 years, 2017 and 2018, that it's in place, and it doesn't do that, right? Well, then
what are you
showing
me here? What are you showing me?
Put me on the big. Can I get the big screen real quick?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Is this like some sort of opinion piece?
No,
from 2019.
It's from the Center for American Progress. Listen, we only can look at, and I'm granting your argument within the first 2 years, and then yes,
I didn't even make that argument.
Yes, what I'm telling you is what the Trump administration said it was supposed to do.
I don't care.
I'm pointing out a failure. I'm pointing out the failure of the Trump administration. This is Trump's policy.
We weren't even talking about this, so I don't care.
We're talking about the Tax Cut and Jobs Act. So
yeah, but I never made a claim.
I'm sorry. Are you upset? Can I finish? Stop. Can you stop? That's so rude and uncouth of you.
Yeah, but you're coming up here making an argument.
Oh my gosh! Can you stop?
All right, just let him go, and then you can respond.
Jesus Christ! Are you? Is he okay? I know it was really brutal for you yesterday, dude. But all I'm pointing out to you is that when it comes to the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, in the first 2 years, it underperformed on business investment. It didn't do the thing that it was supposed to do mainly, right? Because now business investments and businesses aren't making the money and creating the revenue that it said. How does that trickle down to the worker, right? To offset the tax cuts. It doesn't. That's all I'm pointing out, dude.
Mm-hmm. So you're showing an article on you're debating me on you're bringing up a point on something I never even claimed were to be the case.
I never said you claimed it. I said Trump claimed it.
Why wouldn't you engage in the conversation we were having? Why would you bring up like some other point that I didn't? You're like attacking something.
I'm pointing out 2 points. One, that Donald Trump is a piece of shit, and the second point is that you can't argue that, oh, we coerced and destabilized the global economy. Now they're buying up our debt. Like, he could have done that a multitude of better ways. Those are two
Okay,
points I
how would
made.
you have done it?
Through negotiation and trade deals.
Okay, and if
Absolutely.
that doesn't work,
Yeah, it would work because the
okay.
United
So
States has
how
one of
did
the
Biden do
largest.
that?
Yeah, so like you can look. That's a phenomenal question. We can just look at Trump's tariffs on steel. They were
Trump's
idiotic.
tariffs
Well,
on
Biden,
steel.
yes, Trump's tariffs on steel in his first term. Biden didn't remove those tariffs, did he? What
No,
did he do to
he
them?
increased them.
He increased them on who?
I don't
China.
remember the. Yeah, thank you.
And then he had negotiations with, I believe it was Mexico, Canada, and it was another country. Right, that's
Brazil.
phenomenal.
We started purchasing
Brazil.
more from Brazil.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. So right there, we were very strategic, right? And it benefited the economy as a whole, right?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you. And so when we look at lumber,
What do you mean? I just disagreed with you.
Okay, so explain why.
Yeah, I think anytime you're putting in taxation like that in the form of tariff, see, I don't even agree with tariffs. Again, we talked about this yesterday. Tariffs is just a form of mercantilism. All you're doing is effectively disrupting the market and causing prices to have. You're creating price instability because you're disturbing a market that should be free.
In order to do what?
Use force to coerce people into actions that you think are beneficial for you.
Like what?
I just said. What do you mean by force?
Well, give me an example.
Tariffs.
Give me an example of those tariffs in real time, dude. Stop being pedantic.
What?
Stop being pedantic. What I'm asking you, can you give me an example under the Trump administration or Biden administration that exemplifies what you're talking about?
Yeah, sure. He pharmaceutical companies, he put tariffs on them and then said, either give us the fair price or these tariffs will remain.
What do tariffs protect?
What?
What do tariffs protect?
They typically protect the nation, but to me, they hurt the nation.
Okay, great.
I disagree with them.
Okay, great. It's so great. So if tariffs are put into place to protect native businesses, domestic businesses, right?
Can you engage in what I said?
Why would those tariffs be needed? Why would those, since the 80s specifically, supply side economics, why would those tariffs be necessary?
Well, that wouldn't be supply side economics.
Well, from 1980 until really today, we're in the form of supply side economics, yes.
Okay.
Can
you explain to me what you think supply side economics is?
Yeah, I could. But I want you to answer my question first.
See, this is what he does, host. I'm asking for clarification on what he means by supply side.
Supply side economics, trickle down economics, dude. Stop being pedantic. Look,
okay, but you're using a definition. Your definition is a comedian.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Can you explain it to me?
Can we not?
This is so bad for you, host.
It's not.
It is. You just gave me the definition of comedian.
It's a supply side economics. It's cutting taxes to the rich. When we're talking about, it's literally tax cuts to the rich in the hopes that the extra revenue will trickle down to the employee.
No, that's not supply side.
Listen,
I disagree with your definition.
Guys, keep tapping sharing. We can get to new guys at 20.
Can we not be pedantic? Can we not be pedantic? Because what we see is that since we've entered in supply side economics under Reagan, and we align ourselves with corporations, and we attack unions, and we disenfranchise the American worker, right? That these things go up to the rich, they don't trickle down to the poor. They don't trickle down to the worker. Are you going to argue that?
Am I going to argue that it does?
Are you going to argue that under Reagan's form of economics?
No, what I would argue is that we've been more under demand side, and the government and the Federal Reserve has been printing trillions of dollars, devaluing our currency. So even if you were to make the argument that there was some sort of supply side economics, our monetary policy wouldn't allow it, and the amount of demand side policy that our government does, it would be irrelevant because you devalue the currency so much.
It would be relevant because when we're talking about every socioeconomic catastrophe in the last 40 years, it's happened under Republican leadership. This is why we have to continue to inject money into the market.
Okay, and but you're not engaging with deregulation
and the outsourcing, and that comes with the. Wait a minute, I never got to finish my point. You asked a clarifying question. You didn't make a point. Stop being pedantic. You're not tracking this conversation. Now, look, what I'm saying is that when we look at supply side economics, when we look at trickle down,
which we disagreed on the definition, but keep going.
Yeah, that's an appeal to definition. I explained to you what I meant. That's an appeal to definition.
Yeah, your
I explained
definition
to
is
you.
tax cuts for the rich. You actually
I
said trickle down
explained.
All
first.
right.
No,
All
tax
right.
cuts to the rich,
We hit 20K.
deregulation.
Let me just get to it. Just
Yeah.
sorry, it was just
Like
it was just
pedantic, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he's not engaging in the point being made. And then want to go, well, I don't agree with that definition of supply side economics. Stop it.
I think the entire conversation would have been like that. Guys, we are looking for opposition, by the way, okay? Only people that voted for Trump, okay? Green, how you doing? Hello? What is this? What the fuck is this? Jesus.
Live in a small town world. I'm gonna get this up. Hey, you know what's a banger? The two songs that are a banger for me that's nostalgic, but you can't judge them.
What?
Can't judge them.
Well, because
it's not. This is okay. So actually, there are three that are nostalgic for me. The theme song to Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, all right.
Felicity.
All right, that's fair.
And Seventh Heaven.
All right. I'll give you that. Yeah, they are pretty nostalgic. Very has like a very 90s feel to it. All right, everyone, keep tapping, keep sharing. If you're enjoying the live, make sure you send in the heart me there at the top left. Follow myself by clicking in the top left as well. The red follow button, follow Liv, and show a little bit of support if you all can. Okay. All right, let's get to this guest over here. Hello, Rated. How are you? Thanks for
doing well.
I just need to know your age.
In case you asked for it.
Cool. Sounds good. And did you vote for Trump?
I did not, but I would kind of just want to answer your question with an answer. He's
currently
paying off.
I am just looking for debate, so is there anything that you at the very least disagree with, though?
Oh, no, not necessarily. Sorry for wasting your time.
No, you're good. All right, guys, again, we're just looking for ops, all right? People just looking to debate. All right, I understand there's people that agree, but we're good on that front, okay? Oh, man. And if you're watching on the tube, if you can like the live and subscribe over there too, okay? Tell you why what, Lou? Tell you why what? Oh, yeah, somebody's calling in from the tube. Let me answer it. Liv, just let you know, they won't be able to hear you. It's just, I don't have it set up properly, so they're only going to be...
Yeah, that's cool. I actually was going to hop down, but can I just be petty before you take that call? Can I get the big screen?
Yeah, go for it.
Right.
Benjamin.
I guess I'll let you speak in 1 minute. Hang tight.
Okay. I just wanted to point out because it was bothering me. Supply side economics is a macroeconomic theory posing basically economic growth is affected by fostering lowering taxes, decreasing regulation, and fostering trade with other countries. Is that not what I said supply side economics was in that last debate?
Yeah, that's pretty much what you said. The guy was just, again, being extremely pedantic. Yeah. It was what you said. All right, I appreciate you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Take care, okay? All right, guest, how you doing? Are you there?
Good. How are you?
Good. I just need to know your age, please. How old are you? Yeah, I heard you.
30.
39. Okay, cool. And did you happen to vote for Trump?
I did.
All right, cool. And he said he was going to lower gas and groceries on day one. How come he hasn't done so?
Well, things have been complicated, and I'll tell you, I've only been listening since the caller. I think he was from Iowa, and he said that gas had kind of roughly gone down about $2 since the Iran war began, and I saw you kind of look up, the average prices in Iowa kind of thing, and I guess I just wanted to point out, and I'm sure I hope you realize this, a lot of times online averages can be off, especially dependent on an area. So, I live in Fort Worth, Texas, and if I get on Gas Buddy right now, it tells me that the lowest gas is $4.09 $3.09 anywhere near me. But I just went and filled up this morning at $2.93. So, that's almost 20 cents difference.
Well, I'm just looking up I'm just looking up the averages, right? So the averages would be included in obviously lowest or the highest prices. But so what did I say that was incorrect about the prices though?
Well, it's just that I think he was speaking in like a generality, and you were trying to hold him to like this, you know, hey, in 2026, like you can look up anything; it doesn't matter where you live. Yeah. And I generally agree with that statement, but I just would say, like, you know, if somebody's within 20-30% of something, kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, if he lives in Des Moines or he lives in some, like, you know, rural corner of Iowa, it's going to be different than that average that you read.
Yeah, but he wasn't off by 20%. He said gas lowered by $2. He was off by like a lot, like not even close. You know.
All right, I can see that. I guess. So, like I said, I've only been watching since then, but.
All right.
You know, look, gas prices have been falling a lot here where I live. I think since the top of the Iran war, we've probably gone down about $1.50, maybe $1.30. You know, it's falling fast right now.
Gas,
I'm hoping
gas has gone down since the peak of the war. Yes, nobody would argue that it has gone down.
Yeah. One other thing that I've noticed, because I'm the one that does the grocery shopping at my house, and I've done it for years, is that a lot of the COVID price increases they stuck around, which I think is just corporate greed. But what I have noticed is shrinkflation. So the prices are dropping on like cereals and like rice and like, you know, boxes of potatoes and stuff like that. But it's going from, you know, a 16-ounce box to a 13-ounce box, you know, that kind of thing.
Sure. But why did Trump campaign so heavily on dropping the prices of things if knowing that he couldn't do that and knowing that wasn't something that was feasible? Like, why was that something that he ran so heavily on?
I guess the only thing I could think of is that he was maybe, you know, look, politicians have to kind of water down things to get through to the masses. And I personally think that prices would have gone up even higher had Harris won.
How do you know that to be true?
I don't know it to be true. That's why I said I personally think.
So, okay, so so like what would suspect you of that? What would she have done that would have made that to be the case?
It increased regulation.
What regulations would have raised groceries?
Well, just in general. I mean, if you look at areas where there's been like increased government, you know, involvement in things, look in Seattle and in California right now, there's tons of restaurants closing. From mom and pop restaurants that have been around for 60 years to fast food places. And it's all because the government means well. It's like, hey, we have this problem. Workers aren't able to afford, you know, the entry-level workers aren't able to afford certain things. So let's quickly raise up the minimum wage. Well, then that prices out those workers.
So what could she have done? What could she have done specifically that you felt that would have raised prices more than they are right now?
I think she would have kept regulations that Trump has kind of walked. Like, Trump's already done a bunch of stuff with the EPA, with like USDA, with, you know, multiple different departments.
She would have kept. You said she would have kept regulations. What specific regulation would she have kept?
I don't know one off the top of my head. I just know that listening to her for the years that she was in office and during her time of campaigning, she would have been for keeping more regulations, which I'm more for a free market, and she would have been for more increasing regulations.
But if you can't name what specific, what specific ones, though.
I talked about wages a minute ago. I talked about wages a minute ago, so I guess that's the one that I know the most.
So her as a president, how could she have her as a president? How could she have affected wages specifically?
Well, didn't she promise to raise the national minimum wage?
I'm
sure she did.
I don't remember if she said that specifically, but even if she did, though, that still wouldn't be necessarily on her specifically. But there is no data to show that raising the minimum wage would raise the prices of things anyways. We haven't seen that to be true. Plus, the minimum wage, national minimum wage hasn't gone up in a while, yet we've still seen prices go up. a lot,
Mhm.
like quite a bit.
Mhm.
So
Well,
clearly,
for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into things, and sometimes they all kind of coalesce at one time to kick out an industry.
why is it? Why do we see
Yeah.
that other countries that have a higher minimum wage, how come they don't seem to have as high prices of things in relation to their economy?
I think they do. I think both of us are speaking in generalities right now.
But no. But like, if we look at, say, I don't know, like Norway or something, right? So some country in Europe, we can just name any country there for the most part. People there are better off economically, like pretty much around the clock. They're better off economically. If you can go off almost any like economic stat, they are going to be better off there.
I think everything is a trade. So I'm going to give you one example from my personal life. So I work with a gym lab that happens to be based in Switzerland.
Mm-hmm.
And Switzerland is a very multicultural, multinational country. The northern part speaks German, southern part speaks French, and the southeastern part speaks Italian.
Mm-hmm.
And the city where this laboratory is in, it's literally surrounded by France and Germany. And so the workers there always joke with me that they live in France for the cheap housing, they work in Switzerland for the higher wage, and they buy their groceries and fuel in Germany because it's subsidized there.
All right, so to answer the question,
if you say that
what would affect
workers in Norway are better off, I would say workers in Norway don't have air conditioning, they don't own a vehicle, and they wait longer.
Sure they do. Wait. What do you mean? Wait, hold on. What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean people in Norway don't have air conditioning?
I would say generally in Europe, excuse me. I'm watching all the heat wave stuff right now in the news.
So what country in Europe doesn't have basic necessities that we shouldn't follow what they do?
Okay, I don't know where you live, but a basic necessity to you is different than a basic necessity to somebody in Norway.
Okay,
so if you live in Arizona,
just answer the question. What countries do they not? Oh my God! Yeah. Just AC. Just you already mentioned AC. What country in Europe doesn't have AC?
More than you need to Google this if you do not know this. Most of France does not have central air conditioning, and many countries in Europe do not have central air conditioning. They only have heating, and it's because their summers there are short. They're only like 6 to 8 weeks long, and in recent history, in the last 10, 20 years, they've had these crazy heat waves that last 3 weeks long. There's literally been like TikToks and YouTube for like the last 3 weeks all about this.
So what about their economic policies is responsible for that though? Because you're insinuating it has something to do with their economy, something about their policies. What about it would lead to that?
I was addressing your statement that workers in a Scandinavian country, you mentioned Norway, have it better off than ones here in the States.
Yes, absolutely they do. By almost every outcome.
So I said, you said almost every outcome. Mm-hmm. So I pointed out 3 outcomes where they're not as good as ones in America. So in America,
but you named France. France is not
no matter if you're.
I said Scandinavian country. You mentioned France. France is not one. Just what about in any typical European country is worse off there? Like in general.
They typically don't own their own property. They typically don't own a vehicle. So they typically rent. They typically don't own their own vehicle.
But they don't need to.
Have to wait longer for health care.
Well, no, they don't. Wait time, that's not true at all. Can you show that wait times? And what country are you referring to that wait times are longer there than in the U.S.? Which country are you referring to?
It's known that countries with national health care have longer wait times, from Canada to the UK to Denmark.
That's not true. That's not true. Canada does. Hold on. That is not true. Canada does, but can you name me any other country that has much longer wait times than the U.S.? that would also
I just said the UK also.
that would outweigh the fact that they also don't pay for their healthcare out of pocket.
Well, that's a second qualifier.
No, but these things all play a role in it.
These
things all play a role.
You're right. They do. Look, I'm on my only device.
And I just want to say the US has longer wait times than the UK when it comes to general practitioners.
Okay.
I have it right over here.
All right. I know a lot of people that have fairly important surgeries or cancer care or dental things where they travel to the States or they travel to other countries to get it because they're like, I don't want to wait 6 months for this. It could get worse or whatever.
The problem, I know, but hold on. No, it's not.
So
it's not a trade. That's not a trade. By every healthcare outcome, all the countries that have universal healthcare have better healthcare outcomes by pretty much every outcome. Now, of course, if you can afford it here, yeah, the healthcare is fine. But the issue is most people can't afford it, and that's the biggest problem.
Okay, so but what is the trade? So like in Switzerland, I generally don't have to tip because the people there, their wage covers gratuity. Okay, but I always pay more. So like there's like a place that's like a mod pizza, Blaze pizza type place where you go in and you get like a little 11-inch personal pizza. Here in Fort Worth, Texas, it costs like $11. In Switzerland, it costs like $20. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we're talking about healthcare. We're talking about healthcare.
Okay. All right. Like that's the one that we're staying on. Okay.
Well,
so
yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yeah. Let's stick to healthcare.
Okay.
I'm just wondering what about our healthcare system is so much better than these other countries.
Well, if it wasn't so much better, why would all these doctors from all around the world want to come practice here in the United States?
That's not telling us why our healthcare is better or not. That's telling us why some doctors may want to work here, which is the completely opposite end of the system.
Okay. Well, I don't know. You the only thing positive that I've heard from your end is that people don't have to pay for it. And
that's a big fucking positive, man. That's a big positive.
But can I ask what your end goal is? Do you think that we cannot have everything? So would you be willing to give up owning a home or making it harder to own a home or owning a car or making
it doesn't have to be either or.
It
doesn't have to be either or.
We
can have universal healthcare and have homes. We can have both. It's not either or.
No. Okay. What do you think that our country would have to either give up or cut back on to give everybody universal health care?
We probably have to cut back a little on military. We can cut back on military spending by a little bit, considering it's about $1 trillion our budget. We can probably scale that back to even 750 and probably have more than enough to pay for health care.
Okay, what about elective procedures?
What about them?
So, and what I mean by that is I can choose to have my tooth pulled or I need a root canal, or I need a dental implant, or I need a bridge, a denture. Those are 4 different options if I have a rotted tooth. They all cost way different amounts of money.
Okay.
So the more elective procedure is getting a replacement, I just said it, like a crown or like an implant, a dental implant. So would everybody just be able to eat candy till their heart's desire and never brush their teeth, and we just all pay for dental implants for everybody? Or no, sorry, you immediately you get a root canal, and then if you keep having a problem, we'll pull the tooth, and then you get a denture.
But people in those countries aren't taking a bit. But if you're insinuating that people in those countries are just letting their health go to shit so they can then get different surgeries and procedures, we don't see that happening either.
you're right. You know why? Because the government doesn't allow them to.
Okay,
So,
what's your
so
overall
they,
point?
so
I don't understand what your overall point is. I don't understand how you're advocating
my
against this.
point is that Americans would have to tighten up a lot and tighten up their personal behaviors and tighten up their expectation of things. Because I would think that a lot of the average person, that whenever they hear universal health care, they're like, hell yeah, I'm getting veneers.
That's not what that means. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that's what somebody thinks. It's totally besides the point, though. There's no good argument to not have universal health care. There's no argument for it.
I think it does because things are on a sliding scale. And people always want more. Gimme, gimme, gimme. And nobody ever.
So people shouldn't have health care. So we shouldn't give people the right to have health care.
No, I think that we're already doing some things in society that are going to start tightening up people to where maybe we could get to a point where
we could now.
Some like basic floor protection.
We can do that now, though. We have the ability. We have the ability to do it now. We have the means. We have all the capabilities of doing that right now. We have the means if we cut what you want to cut, which is defense. Well, okay, we can cut. So am I. I'm a veteran also. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't be cutting.
That's awesome.
That doesn't mean that we shouldn't be cutting this.
Look, I personally wouldn't want to cut defense. I would say there's other places to cut. But
yeah, $1 trillion budget for the Department of Defense. Yeah, we can probably cut that a little bit and still have the biggest military in the world, bar none. Right? Our military is bigger than the next 10 countries combined. We can cut it in half and still be bigger than every other country. We don't have to be a weak country, military-wise, to have that.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that, because there's some people that just want to abolish it altogether. And, just like how China plays with its currency and doesn't report its gold holdings and doesn't do all kinds of other stuff, they also are not actively reporting their military size.
Okay, but what does this have to do with healthcare, though? We can get to that, but I don't. And guys, let's get to a new guest at 35,000 likes. I can't think of a good argument against universal healthcare.
The only reason why I brought that up is because you said we can cut the military.
That's one of many things that we can cut. Or we can just raise taxes on the rich. We can do that also. That's another option.
I think that is a short-term solution, because the rich are very mobile and they will find a way to get around it. So, and also, whenever you just kind of.
But then tighten the loopholes when it comes to taxes. Then and tell you that's not an excuse to not tax them their fair share.
Okay, let's look at one rich person. Okay, like the two guys that did Google. All right, they're never going to invent another Google. So their income at the top of their income earning potential over their 80-year life was when they invented Google and finally brought it public. And so saying, well, we're going to tax the rich, it's just going to be 2% of their income or whatever. Their income is really tied up in their.
Everybody knows this. We get this. I get it. SS. I get it. We all understand that. That's still not an excuse to not tax them their fair share.
So we're not going to get the same amount of money over their 80-year life just because they were rich one year. I mean, I don't. Again, it's a short-term solution.
It's not a short-term solution. It's not a short-term solution. What their net worth makes up a huge percent of the entire entire GDP, right? And they don't pay their fair percentage of that. And I think they should be able to pay their fair share.
It's different. Net worth is different than net income.
We understand that. That's still, again, not a reason to not tax them the way that they should. Many of them are paying less of a percentage than you or I are paying.
Okay. All right. Look, I think we probably agree on a lot of things. I just look at things a little differently. I'm happy to talk with you. I appreciate your time. I think you might want to get a new caller on, I think. I'm kind of feeling that. And yeah, I'll still keep listening, man.
All right. Take care. I appreciate it. Have a good one. All right, guys. Keep tapping and sharing. We are looking for opposition, please. All right. Let's get the next one over here. I just don't understand how you can advocate against that. I've never heard a good argument against it. Anyways, make sure you guys send in the heart me if you're enjoying live, and give me a follow too if you're enjoying live. Okay. Zanin, well, no, you're friendly, so I'm gonna bring you down. You want veneers? Is that what he thinks? Why people want universal healthcare so they can afford veneers? Is that the only reason? If you guys want to join Discord, the link to that is my bio too, by the way. You sent mine. Thank you. If you guys all have not sent your heart me, please go ahead and do that. People have cancer? Yes, people have cancer. Oh, are you saying... Oh, I see what you're trying to say. I got you. The furry crisis? What is the furry crisis? Thank you, Paige. Thank you. Insurance does not pay for government. All those politicians. Thank you. Again, if you guys can send in the heart me, follow me if you're joining live, and if you're watching on the tube, you can subscribe as well. Please and thanks. He's made you $600K in your 401. You can buy your own grocery store. Okay. Again, the stock market has gone up under every single president. Okay. And at least in recent times. Supreme Court just voted against Trump. You talking about the E. Jean Carroll case? They did. All right, so where are you guys at? If you disagree, hit the request button. Hello, Mike. How are ya? They just decided birthright. Supreme Court. All right, and what else? Oh, we have the gift goal there at top as well. If you guys want to help hit that, a little bit of gifts do go a long way. While it's not needed, I do appreciate it. Staying with the pay links in my bio, guys. Okay. Aborted fetus as I was trying to be nice. I may restart here shortly, but I'll give it a little bit more to see if we can get another guest to come on up. I don't want to restart just yet. And what else? I feel like there's something else I had to mention. I don't know. I don't think so. But anyways, I don't have any clients for a little bit at the gym, so I don't need to end this live anytime soon. I think my next client is early afternoon, so I'll be free for a bit. So as long as we continue to get guests on up or whatever, I should be able to stay live. Do we want Vance or Rubio? I mean, they're both shitty. They're both shitty. As long as either one doesn't win, that's all I care about. All right, where is the next guests? You paid $150 for a dozen of eggs yesterday. Congrats. We're all proud of you. We're all very proud of you. Bacon, hello? Loading. Hi, Bacon. How are you?
Morning.
Hey, morning. I just need to know your age, please. I know we spoke before, but just for TikTok US, how old are you?
You say it one more time.
I just need to know your age, please. How old are you?
Oh, okay. Oh,
please.
41.
All right, what's going on, man?
Well, I mean, your backdrop says, why hasn't Trump made gas groceries cheaper yet?
Mm-hmm.
The question that's running through my mind is, how exactly would he be able to do that, to make things cheaper?
Well, he said he was going to, so I'm just trying to hold the guy
I know
accountable.
he's a liar. I'm just
Mhm.
saying, in any capacity with any different commander in chief, he's a liar. He's a joke. He's nothing more than a draft dodging, foolhardy douchebag. And the only reason any of the people that voted for him was because he questioned our first black president's birth certificate and appealed to their racism. We get that.
Yeah.
But aside from that, in any capacity, how is the president going to make gas and groceries cheaper?
Oh, they can't.
How can
They
do
can't.
that?
You know, they can, and that's the point of it. I'm sort of being facetious with the prompt because that's a big reason why people voted for him. So I am just holding.
I mean, I know.
That's it. It's a
reasons why,
facetious prompt. Yeah. So you agree? That's right. Yeah, you're not in opposition, right? So yeah, let me go ahead and bring you down if you're not in opposition. Unless is there anything you did want to debate on?
Yeah, I'll jump.
Was there anything you disagreed with?
I just wanted to address that.
That's fine.
How does
Okay.
any president make anything cheaper?
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. All right. Take care, guys. Again, we're only looking for ups. All right. Only looking for ups. Yeah, guys. Again, the prompt is that's me being facetious. All right. Corey, you can come on up here.
Hey, Doug.
What's up, Corey? How are you?
I don't know if anybody said this in the chat yet, but the Supreme Court just released their decision on birthright citizenship and have affirmed the 14th Amendment in a 6-3 decision.
Yeah. A couple people mentioned in the comments.
All right, cool.
So
just figured.
Yeah. How you doing? You doing good today? Doing well? Whatever.
I'm doing good. I keep getting stressed out reading the opinions of the court, but you know what? 1 out of 3, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Something, right? Take a win when you can.
Exactly. All right, man. Well, have a good rest of your day.
Cool. Take care. They know would have been really too heavy to go against that. By reprimanding corporations for price gouging? How would they have done that specifically? Should have been 9-0, but hey, it's something, right? Well, it would be 1 out of 3. They ruled in favor of E. Jean Carroll too, right? The other day. Was that yesterday? Day before? They ruled in favor of her. Well, in favor of Trump still paying her, rather. Gas has gone down in your town. Yeah, again, guys, since the peak of the war, like last month, whatever it was, month before, sure. That's not what the prompt is about. The prompt is about since Trump became president, since he said he would lower them, has gas gone down or up? And it has not since he came into office. E. Jean Carroll has accused over 30 men in her life. Kyle, if you're trying to insinuate that she's making it up, you're just going to have to show evidence that she's made it up. That's it. That's all you got to show. Gas has not gone down since he came into office. I go over this like 4 times a live stream when I do this. It was $3.19 national average when he came into office. $3.19. The national average today is $3.84. $3.84 is higher than $3.19. Basic numbers. Guys, I'm not going to argue basic numbers, guys. I'm not arguing about where gas is by you. National average. It shouldn't be like an argumentative thing. We shouldn't have to argue basic numbers. Like, seriously. The fact that we still are is very problematic. Keep tapping and sharing, though, if y'all can. Make sure you give me a follow if you're enjoying life. Hey, guest, what's up? Guest, how you doing? Guest going once. Gas going twice. Goodbye. All right, maybe I may restart here shortly. I'll give it another minute or two, though, okay? If you guys want, I could change the topic, I suppose. Fine doing whatever if you guys want. You've seen less than $3. Again, I'm talking about national averages. I don't know how many times I have to say that. National averages. It's like I have to fucking keep repeating myself. V, did you not hear anything I just said? National averages. Like, I don't understand why I have to hold your guys' hand through this entire fucking thing. Oh, eggs are down, therefore all groceries are down, guys. I should have known. I should have known that eggs are responsible for all groceries. Cue ball. California has had high gas prices when gas was low, when gas was high. That's what averages are. When it comes to an average, there are numbers that bring the average up. There's numbers that bring it down. That's why it's an average. So yes, high numbers bring the average up. Still doesn't take away from what I'm saying here. Not blatantly wrong. You just don't like to say anything bad about Trump. That's it. You're welcome to show me how gas is cheaper now since when he came into office. If you can show me that, then you'll have something to speak on. All right, let's start inviting some of you guys here. Thank you, Shelly. I appreciate that. Cue ball, if you want to come on up, you can come on up. A football emoji person, you can come on up as well. Yes, coach. They wouldn't give a shit. Eggs were $14 apparently when Biden was in office, guys. That's not made up at all. Where are you guys getting these things from? $14 eggs? I have the egg prices also here in front of me. I think, again, you guys forget that we can track this stuff. There are things, or sites that track these things. So what were eggs at its very, very peak? They were just a hair over $6 at its peak. $6.23. Yes, the national average of gas is about $3.85, correct, which is higher than $3.19 in January of 2025. I just imagine spending $14 on eggs. I don't think eggs were ever $14. All right, well, I think I might restart it here since I don't think we're going to be getting anybody here in the next minute or two. So I'll restart. I will change topics. Yeah, I'll do a different topic. I'll surprise you guys, okay? I'll be live in like 60 seconds.
No women.
All right, guys, I'm back. How's everybody doing? All right, very, very different topic.
There's a current trend of men shaming women for having it.
All right, guys, if you all can tap and share, that would be helpful. And if you guys can send heart mates as well. All right, and if you think body count matters, whether it's for men, women, either or, hit the request button, please, okay? And let's try to get the like sign up too, okay? Hi, Maddie, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. Hi, how are you?
What's up?
Hey, I just need to know your age, please.
20.
20. All right. And you think body count matters?
Yeah, because promiscuous women are gross and disease-ridden. So it's just a disgusting thing.
What's disgusting about that?
They're disease-ridden and they're
What do you mean?
promiscuous, and that's disgusting.
What do you mean
that
disease-ridden?
If you're hooking up with a bunch of people, you're way more likely to catch, AIDS, all these different type of diseases. That's just the truth. So
okay. So
yeah,
if you
it's just disgusting, bro.
If you were dating,
you know how many women I know that are promiscuous that have
let me go ahead and
gonorrhea
speak.
and shit?
Let me go ahead and let's have a conversation. So if you met a woman and she had a high body count, and then you found out you guys did a STI test and she had no STIs, would her body count still matter?
I still wouldn't do it, and I would.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with STIs. So it has nothing to do with STIs.
Well, no, it does.
Well, it doesn't, because you just said it still would matter. So tell us why
your
it really
argument's
matters.
really weird, because it assumes that I would take a girl with a high body count serious enough to get like on her my chart and see her STD scan.
But don't tell me
crazy.
STIs are the reason
I would
why.
never even go
That's
that
not
far.
the reason. I know, but that's not the reason why you think high body count matters. So tell us the real reason. Just be honest with us.
That's the factual reason.
It's not the factual reason, because
They're
you
all
still would care about it.
bro.
But you still would care about it if she still didn't have an STI. So tell us the real reason.
But that's not even possible, bro.
So just tell us the real
Women
reason.
with
Just
high
be
body
honest with
counts,
us.
they all have STDs, bro.
User, just tell us. They all have STIs. Okay.
All of them. They all
Every
have
single
STDs.
one of them.
At least they have like
Every
gonorrhea or
single one of
herpes
them.
at the bare minimum.
Every
At the
single
bare
one of them.
minimum, they have.
So you're not going to
herpes.
tell us why body count
That's
matters?
why, doofus.
It's not.
You want me to give you the
because-
PubMed study? Here, how about this? I know you're a study.
No.
Let
I
me give
want
you
you
the
to tell me. Nope. I want you to tell me why it matters,
Run
because
away.
it clearly is
Run
not about
away.
STIs.
Run
I'm not
away.
running away.
Keep running.
Guys, if you tell me the reason is STIs, and I tell you there's an example where you meet someone, they have a high body count, and they don't have STIs, and you say it still matters, then it's not about STIs. It's not that hard to answer a basic question. And if you can't be honest about the real reason, then I don't really want to speak to you. Like, if you can't even be honest with us as to why the reason, then it's just not worth having the conversation. All right, let's get to the next one. Keep tapping and sharing, though. If you can send a heart me, that would be great, okay? Thank you, Nick. Sparky, thank you. Well, user, you lost your opportunity. You cannot be honest with yourself and the chat. Well, exactly, Peach. Exactly. All right, and let's try to get the likes on up, okay? Let's try to get to 10,000 likes pretty quickly if we can. One of my wife's bodies married her stepsister. Interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, let's see if we can have somebody to come on up that actually can have an actual debate and doesn't want to get all emotional. Very, very emotional. Why is checking a used car before you buy it matters? Yeah, we're not talking about cars, we're talking about human beings. So, you know, if you want to say as to why you think a high body count matters. Just tell us why you think it matters without having to compare them to inanimate objects. Okay. All right, let's get to... No, user. If you keep requesting, I'm just going to block you. Okay, we're not talking about cars. We're talking about people. Hi, Brent. How are you?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Not much. I just need to know your age. How old are you?
I'm 46.
Alrighty. And do you think body count matters?
Not really. I mean, body count. I mean, what do you like? Male, female, or?
Yeah, I mean either one. Do you think body count matters for either or both?
No.
You said no.
No.
Okay. I'm only looking for people that think that believe it does matter. So let me go ahead and bring you down. But I hope you have a great rest of your day, guys. Again, only looking for people who think body count does matter. Okay. That's it. Everyone else, keep tapping and sharing, and make sure you send in your heart me if you can, please. Aksa, that's fine. If you want to come on up, we can talk about that. Thank you, Red Truck. We'll see if we can have some good conversations. I doubt it, though. Every time I do this topic, we typically get very, very immature people, as per that previous guest. Every single time. Does body count have an impact on a person, good or bad? Doesn't matter.
Where's your
Hi,
boyfriend?
how are you?
Retard.
They're out.
Where's Blanky the
right
retard, bro?
That's it. That's all
You
you got.
cast him aside. Did you break up with your boyfriend?
Okay, take care.
He's crying, right?
Good argument, man. Good argument. Solid. Real good. Guys, if you can't have a conversation without having a slur like right away, then I think your argument probably sucks. All right, let's get to discuss. Hi, Carlos.
Hey, Luke. Hey,
How you doing? It's going. I
Not
just
too
need to know
bad.
your age. How old are you?
38.
38. Okay. And do you think body count matters?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Just
Why is that?
on the instinct. Right, so from my experience, it would be that just on a generalized basis, right, that a woman, so a woman would probably likely want to get with a man that has experience in the bedroom. Yeah, so so for example, rather than getting with a guy, I know my first time. I'm pretty sure you know your first time. Let's guess. We didn't last long. Yeah, it wasn't. It ain't gonna be the Ritz. Is what I'm saying. On the opposite side, a man would look for a woman with a less body count, and I don't think it indicates promiscuity as such, but I mean, I wouldn't get with a woman that's been with like 50, 60, 70 guys because it does seem like a red flag. And I know it's like in regards
what does it show about a woman if she has a high body count?
It shows that, because it shows that, she's just willing to go around and sleep around and,
So what's a high body count? What do you describe as a high body count?
I'd say like what, 20 plus?
20 plus. And what do you describe as a body?
Well, what do you mean, a body?
Well, yeah. So like, what is it? Well, everybody has different definitions. I've spoken with some people, believe it or not, that thought kissing counted as a body. So would you count it as sexual intercourse, like P and V intercourse, oral?
Yeah, full intercourse. Yeah,
full intercourse. Okay. So like P and V intercourse.
Yeah.
Okay. What about if it's anal? Does that count?
I'd say yeah.
Okay. Okay. And did you say anything over 30? Was that the number you said?
20.
20.
20
Okay. So at 19. So from 19 to 20, what happens? What's that relevant difference from 19 to 20 that makes it then matter?
I'd prefer a woman with. I wouldn't say I'm not here like, oh, I want to go get with some virgins. I'd like my woman to know something in regards to what she's doing in the bedroom. I've been with a lot of older women that have probably had a higher body count that are very experienced in the bedroom. I ain't complaining, but my point would be, I'm just saying on a generalized basis, in regards to society, it works both ways, though, doesn't it? So you're telling me that a woman would rather get with a guy that's had zero experience in the bedroom.
I'm asking for you why it
seen...
matters. No, I'm just asking. I'm not asking the society. I'm asking for you why it matters. Why a high body count to you matters.
Because I'd say women with a higher body count are probably, in my experience, more likely to cheat, as far as I'm concerned.
How do you know that to be true?
I mean, I'm saying from my own personal experience. I've been with women with a very high body count, and they have been, cheating or promiscuous, or it's one of those.
So but how do you know that's still something that's true though? So like you said in your personal experience, so how many women have you been with for you to know that to be true for yourself?
My body count, I'm not going to lie, I'd say mine is quite high. I'd say mid-30s to 40, something along those lines.
Okay, and you saw that with the women that you were with, the ones that had a quote-unquote high body count, were more likely to cheat?
Yeah. And
how many women are you basing this off of to come to this conclusion?
Well, all the women that I've been with, so around 38.
And they all had high body counts?
No. I've been with women. In fact, right. So, for example, my first relationship was with a girl where I was a virgin, and she wasn't, but she lied to me and said she was. But I found out after that she wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things.
What's your point?
Because obviously a person, I'm a Christian. I wasn't born Christian. Well, I was born Christian, turned atheist. I turned to Christianity in like my early 20s, and it's just a case of, I don't know, just men would look for women that are more pure, and women would probably want a man that knows what he's doing in the bedroom. If you've never seen a vagina, you ain't going to work your way around that. If you've never licked a clitoris,
I'm asking why it ought to be this way. I understand guys oftentimes do it because they want to brag and whatever, right? But I'm asking why it ought to be this way for you, for example.
I'm not saying it should, because obviously it's a double standard. Don't get me wrong. I understand that completely. So obviously there is a double standard there.
Do you think body count says anything about anybody's character, like inherently as to who they are?
I mean, it potentially depends on the person themselves. But yeah, I would say that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Inherently,
in regards to men,
inherently
it works both ways. So it does work both ways. So in regards to men with a higher body count, I would say, are probably more likely to be promiscuous and cheat, and it would work the same for women. But just the way that, the world.
But hold on. But of course, somebody who has a high body count is more likely to be quote unquote promiscuous, because that's what a high body count is. Somebody who's slept around a decent amount of time. So yeah, like by its very definition, of course. But I'm asking, why is that a bad thing? Why is that something that says anything about their character?
I mean, people can change. You can't judge a book by its cover. Do you know what I mean? Like, good people are capable of evil. Evil people are capable of good. But I would just say, as a general standard, I'd more likely want to get with a woman with a lower body count. I wouldn't get with a woman that has been with 100 men, for example.
How would you know this, though? How would you know it? Do you ask? Is this something that you ask them?
I mean, no, not really. Okay. I mean,
so how would you know if they had a high body count or not?
I mean, from back in the days, from high school, university, word gets around. You know, rumors spread, etc. You wouldn't know unless you question them directly.
Yeah, but being an adult, sure, maybe if you're younger and you're dating someone who's went to your school or whatever. But as an adult, I can only speak for myself. But I'm not going to know their history, because I'm not if I'm dating somebody as an adult, either I know them from work or a dating app, in which case I wouldn't really know about their previous history at all. So there'd be no way in which I would know about how many people they've ever been.
I mean, there is a way that you can, I'd say, probably tell if you go downstairs and it looks like it's dilapidated, buildings falling apart.
That's not how vaginas work.
Do you think that's really how it works? What's that?
That isn't how they work.
Well,
You
I'm
really
saying
think that's how it
many-
works?
Well, I'm saying I wouldn't say 100%, but I'd say that there's indicators that could be noticed.
So what's that indicator? What would it look like specifically?
Well, it wouldn't look tight. Let's put it that way.
How does something look tight? How can you look at it tight? How can you look at tightness? You can't look at tightness.
No. I mean, like, well, I mean, I don't want to go into like what biology.
You can feel tightness. You can feel tightness. You can't look at tightness.
Okay.
So basically, someone could have had sex once in their whole lives and become pregnant and had a baby, and Carlos would look at them and think that they'd been like some kind of town bike.
No, not at all.
Because he's judging women on their.
I've
By
got
the
a
way,
child.
do you know
I've
that?
got a child.
Do you know that all female genitals look different?
Yeah. 100%.
Well, apparently you don't, because you think that if someone's inexperienced, it's going to look a certain kind of way. By the way, do you have a high sex drive?
I'd say probably in the past, but it's tampered off. So. Yeah,
You mean
maybe.
tapered off? Do you mean tapered off?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just the only reason I'm asking that question is it seems that you are looking, you appear to be looking for someone who has had no past sex drive, but has a higher one for you than they've felt like. This is just it's such a weird argument.
All I'm trying to get across is my point initially. Let's not get into like biology and whatever else. My point would be
why not?
But like, so, right, as a woman, would you rather get, right now, I don't know how old you are. How old are you, Erica?
How old are you first? I've no clue how old you are.
I'm 38. I've already stated how old I am.
Okay, I'm 47.
Okay, so would you rather, as a 47-year-old woman, get with a man that has zero experience, literally a virgin, never seen a vagina in his life, right? So, and you know he's not going to last long. Would that be enjoyable for you, or would you want a man that... Answer honestly, would you want a man that knows how to do oral sex, go down on you, all the rest of it?
Oh, I can teach him that.
Okay, all right. I mean...
Okay, but this still isn't telling us why body count matters inherently.
Well, I don't know why it matters. All I'm trying to tell you is, like, as far as I'm concerned, men will search for a woman with a lower body count, and women generally.
I'm aware, but this isn't about what men typically do or what men. This isn't about that. I'm asking how you feel, how you specifically feel.
Well, I've already told you how I feel, but the
right, but I'm asking you to justify. I know, but I'm asking you to justify. I'm asking you to justify why body count matters. Like what it says about somebody.
Like I said, a person with a higher body count will be more likely to be promiscuous. If I get with a woman that's been with 150 guys, I reckon she's more likely to be.
That's like saying somebody with $1 billion is more likely to be rich. No fucking shit. Like
yes.
That's what like promiscuous. Like you're using promiscuous in the sense of sleeping around. Like no, duh. Yeah, if you have a high body count, you have a high body count. Sure, that's not telling us why it matters, though. You're just being circular. No, that's being circular. That's being circular. I want you to tell me why it matters. That's not telling me why it matters. That's being circular.
It matters to me that I would rather not get with a woman that's been with 1,000 men because I'm pretty sure she's going to go for 1,001. Because I'm going to be the 1,000th and she'll.
Okay, so you're telling me you're going to get cheated on. Okay, so you're telling me you're going to get cheated on potentially?
Yes.
Okay. What evidence do you have that having a high body count makes it more likely for her to cheat?
I've already told you, in my experience of all the people that I've been with, the girls that I know had a higher body count.
Oh my
gosh, really gosh, fucking hell, man.
Carlos, calm down.
He just ran.
I just find this argument weird. I find the argument weird that you want somebody who's slept with specifically less than 20 people. They could have slept with 20 people once, but they could have slept with one person 5,000 times. If his argument is that their bits are going to be wrecked, wouldn't they be wrecked more by 1,000 times than by 19?
That would require logic, though, Erica. Hi, Brad. How are you doing?
Hello, Doug. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I just need to know your age before we move forward.
I'm 31.
31. Okay. And do you think body count matters?
I do.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, I'd start off by saying that intimacy matters, and sleeping with someone is being intimate. And I would say that humans are not capable of infinite intimacy. There's a certain in a time span, you can be intimate with a finite number of people.
Okay.
And we like exclusivity, and we look for exclusivity in our partners.
Okay.
So a higher body count could indicate a very, let's say, spread out intimacy, if that's the right phrasing.
Okay, so there's a finite amount of intimacy somebody can have? How do you know that to be true?
Just math. You can't be intimate with everyone at the same time. Then it wouldn't be intimate.
You can't what?
Definition.
Everybody at the same time?
You can't be intimate with everyone at the same time, because then it wouldn't be
But
intimate.
nobody's claiming that. But that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about being intimate with everybody simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing. What does that have to do with body count, though?
You have to be intimate to have a body count. You need to be intimate with the person you're sleeping with.
But you're saying that at the same time. That's not what we're talking about. You're telling me why the number of times somebody has been with another person, why that matters. We're not talking about at the same time.
I'm not saying you have to do it at the same time. I'm saying that if you have a high body count, you have been intimate with people more than if you haven't.
Well, duh. Again, that's what body count means. Yes.
Yeah.
And why does that? But why does that matter, though? Why is that important for you to know that about somebody?
Because in a partner, you seek the exclusive intimacy from one person. And if the partner you are searching for have been intimate with a lot of people, then the intimacy is less exclusive.
What are you talking about cheating now? You're talking about cheating. Sleeping with someone is not the same thing as being exclusive with them.
I know.
Those are two different things.
That's why I'm saying intimate. You can be intimate with a friend.
But I think intimacy is the wrong word, because intimacy doesn't exclusively come from sex. I think it's far more intimate to kiss somebody, like passionately kiss somebody, than it is to have intercourse with them. Far more intimate, it's far more personal than banging uglies.
Well, I could agree in some circumstances. I can agree, but it kind of depends on the kiss and the sex. But one thing's for sure: you have to be intimate to have sex. You can be as you can be sleeping with someone and be as not intimate as possible. I don't know the word for it, but you can keep your distance at the maximum while sleeping. But you have to be some kind of intimate with them.
Well, it depends on what your definition of intimate is.
Yeah, well, that's true. But I would say the definition of intimate is that some sort of trust and some sort of relation. You need to be in a relationship where you benefit and they benefit from each other, and that's what sex is, even if it's for a short time.
Yeah, I'll read it out. Guys, let's get to new guests at 15,000 likes. We're looking for opposition. So the definition of intimate would be describes a deep closeness, warmth, or privacy. As an adjective, it refers to a very close personal or romantic relationship, highly personal thoughts or secrets, or a cozy private atmosphere. So deep closeness, warmth, or privacy, right? Somebody can sleep with another person and not have necessarily deep closeness, warmth, or privacy. Those aren't
exactly
mutually exclusive.
So that would actually strengthen my point, because if you are a person who differentiates between sleeping with someone and being intimate, then you are not the you're not the common. That's not a common thing. Most people will be intimate with the person they are having sex with, and they would build up some sort of trust and some kind of relation to the person they're sleeping with. And so if you have a high body count and you have intimate relationships with the person you're sleeping with, then you are capable of being intimate with a lot of people, which is in itself something many people would look at as a red flag.
But that still doesn't show that, though, because that doesn't mean just because you are intimate with that person, that doesn't mean that you're intimate with every single person that you sleep with.
Exactly. So, and that's my second point. So, if that's not the case, then you have the capacity to sleep with a lot of people without being intimate, which means that your body and your personal intimacy are disconnected. Which then could mean that you as a person look at sex as something that you take or give in an objectifying kind of way.
I think you're jumping to a big conclusion there. Like, for example,
well, it's speculative, of course. Yeah,
it is speculative because, right? Like, if you're dating someone, you're in a relationship with them, there's going to be some sort of intimacy there, right? But that doesn't mean that you have to be that with every single person that you do sleep with, and that doesn't mean that if she's sleeping with you in this case, that she's not going to have feelings for you or anything like that. Again, it's going to be on a case-by-case scenario. So if you...
Well, I wouldn't say that addresses my point, though. I would say that even though if it's either way, your case would be it's not necessarily intimate every time they sleep, and it's not necessarily not intimate every time they sleep with someone. But in both cases, you as an individual would look at those characteristics and think, this is most likely not something I want in my partner.
Well, no, because you're insinuating it's a hit or miss. You're insinuating it's like a hit or miss thing, as if like you just wouldn't know. Presumably, if you are with someone, you've been talking to them, you're getting to know them, you should know if there's some sort of mutual feeling between both of you, right? It's not just a guess.
Wait, what's your point?
Like, you're insinuating that like potentially like she can turn off her feelings for you, or like that she can just be with you and not have feelings. Don't sleep with somebody that you don't know has feelings for you, or you don't know doesn't have feelings for you. You should, if that's your standard, then wait.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about myself. I know what I can do to avoid these things. I'm just arguing why a body count in itself would matter.
But that's not telling us why in of itself matters. You're giving a lot of context in which potentially it can, but it's not because of the body count.
Oh, it's 100% because of the body count, because body count means that you either don't get intimate with a partner, or you are intimate with a partner. Either way, you're either very intimate with a lot of people, which means you're not exclusive or not as exclusive as somebody else.
I'm sorry, stop. That's bullshit. There can be people that have intimacy with some people in certain circumstances, but there isn't intimacy in others, even though. So the fact is, even when you're with a partner who you've been with for a really long time, there will be times where you engage in sex that is not intimate. It's to fulfill a need.
You mean passionate?
I mean not intimate.
If you're in a relation with if you're married or in a relationship, it's always intimate. It's just not passionate.
No, I strongly disagree with you. There are, if anybody who has had a partner for a significant amount of time will know this. Sometimes there are times when you need something from your partner, or they need something from you, or you both need something from each other, and it doesn't feel intimate, and it doesn't feel loving. It's to fulfill a need. And if you don't understand that, if you don't understand that, then you probably haven't been in a relationship for very long.
Well, that's some okay insult, I guess, but you're arguing that this is not intimacy, but I would say that your definition is wrong. You're talking about passion, not intimacy. You can be intimate and still be angry at someone.
Oh no, it's passionate. It's just not intimate. It doesn't establish a feeling of closeness. That is not the purpose of it.
That's not intimacy. That's passion. Feeling
Guys, we can
is
get
not
to new guests
intimacy.
at 10,000 likes, guys.
It's almost
10,000 likes,
like
new guests.
that was exactly my point. It can be passionate and not intimate.
It can be passionate and not intimate. Well, you could be very passionate and not be as intimate, true, but in order to exchange something with someone that requires your body, your naked body, you would need some kind of intimacy, but you don't have to be as intimate every time you sleep with someone. I mean, there's plenty of ways to have sex. There's plenty of ways to start this off. So of course you can use each other as, objects and not be intimate as much as possible. But then that's a big red flag for many people. And no wonder, because then you would say, if this is something you are capable of doing, if you are capable of looking at another human and think, I can use this body as an object, if they just do the same thing to me, then you are objectifying their body and yourself, which is, well, it could mean that your personality is not as easily connected to other people. It means that you can have some issues having, you can have a hard time getting intimate with someone, because the more you do it, the less.
I have a question.
Sure.
Are you in a long-term relationship?
Not at the moment.
Have you been in a long-term relationship at some point?
Depends. Is 2 years a long time?
Well, it would be considered a long-term relationship if it was 2 years, but it's not.
Long term. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Then yeah.
And never in that time did you and your partner at any point have sex like just going through the motions? Probably towards the end of your relationship, just going through the motions. It wasn't passionate, it wasn't intimate, it was just sex.
I've never done that, but there's been less passion. But I've never had sex with my partner without passion at all.
10,000 likes, new guests, guys. I don't. Do you have anything else you want to say?
New guests? Why?
Eric, anything else you wanted to say? I don't think there was a guy. I mean, she was talking. I don't.
I just want to point out, Doug doesn't like to have guests up for a super long time. So what he does is establishes a target for the people watching to tap the screen so we get to a new guest. It keeps it interesting for everybody watching the whole time. It's not because he's cornered. It's nothing to do with that. It's to keep it interesting for the people watching.
Sure. Well, I can make it more interesting.
Jeff would like to.
You can. Yeah. Let's. Let's
I'm
bring
Norwegian.
Jeff up. Well, let me bring Jeff up. Guys, let me just expand. I know I have the like to kick all at 10K. Let's just expand it out just to 20. Sorry, I won't ever do that. But I just want to give Jeff the time to speak a little bit. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Yep.
Hey, Brad, have you ever been to a restaurant where you have more than 2 forks on the? You have to hear the whole thing. You ever been to a restaurant where you have more than 2 forks as a place setting?
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I didn't understand that. Having 2 forks.
More than 2 forks. You sit down and there's more than 2 forks in front of you.
On the table, sure.
Okay, so with tablecloth and everything.
Yeah.
Where plating matters, right?
Plating matters. Okay, yeah.
Like they bring you a dish and it's like Michelin star quality.
Sure, yeah.
You ever had a ham sandwich?
I have.
All right. Do you see how those are 2 different motivations for eating?
The fancy restaurant versus the ham sandwich?
Yeah.
2 different motivations.
Like it could be.
I would want different things. Yeah.
And not that you want different things. That you have different reasons for having those. Like for example, it could be noon, on a regular Thursday and you're just hungry and what you have is a ham sandwich, you need to eat. So you eat a ham sandwich. It doesn't mean that when you then go to Wolfgang Puck's restaurant and you're paying $300 for a meal, that you can't appreciate a filet mignon with like the peppercorn reduction, balsamic, whatever, right? In the same way, you could have passionate sex with somebody that you are lustful after, that you're not intimate with, but you just see the person and you're like, yeah, they're hot. You could have intimate sex with somebody who you had a relationship with, and you could have just clinical sex. Somebody, crudely, I'll just adopt the phrase, said just to get a nut off, but like I would agree, like just, hey, I feel like horny, and there's a person. You're not objectifying them. You're making a deal with them. Like, hey, we're going to mutually, clinically give each other the thing that we need, and then we're good.
Well, I disagree with the premise that you're not objectifying whoever you're having sex with. I think that's
fine.
impossible.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. If I play chess with Doug, am I objectifying Doug?
What? If you're playing chess with him?
If I play chess with Doug, am I objectifying Doug?
In a very, very small way.
How am I objectifying Doug if I play chess with Doug?
Well, you need him to be physical. If he is not there physically, or if he can't move his arms, if he wouldn't be able to move his body, then you wouldn't see the use of him at that chess table.
What do you think objectifying means?
Well, you're using them as an object. You need their object. You need the object to be of some use. And in every way, we use each other in some degree as objects. But
So
in most cases,
let me see if I'm understanding how incoherent this is. If I say hello to Doug and I expect him to say hello back, am I objectifying Doug?
I would say no.
Okay. So where's the line here? Like, at what point am I not using Doug as an object?
When you need their physical body.
I would need his physical body to say hello back to me.
Well, not really.
You're saying that without Doug's physical body, he could say hello back to me.
Yeah, he could. He could. If he couldn't speak, he could communicate in other ways.
I didn't say without his vocal cords. I said without his body.
You're asking me if he can answer hello without his body?
Yes.
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay, so then I would need his body to say hello to me, right?
Sure.
So I am objectifying him if I'm asking him to say hello, by your view?
Yeah, in some small way, you need the object to be there.
I'm glad we got there. Perfect. So then there's no problem with objectifying people, because it's just like even having a perfectly intimate relationship by your lights would be objectifying people. I don't know what the problem is.
I'm not saying objectifying is bad. I'm just saying that.
So I don't even know why you brought it up. I don't even know.
Well, because you brought it up. You said that you objectify people.
No, you said it. I didn't say that. I don't think that. Look,
I know, but
listen. Hey, relax. Take a breath. When I said when you're engaging with somebody simply clinically, you're not objectifying them. You said yes, you are, right? And I'm assuming you mean that as a negative thing.
Nope.
Okay.
But it could be.
So then there's no. So then there's no. If it's not a negative thing, it's not a negative thing. If it could be, that means there's some other thing. Okay. So there isn't another attribute to objectifying that makes it negative. What's your threshold for objectifying being negative?
If you objectify somebody and they want to be objectified and they objectify you back, the only negative, as I can see it, is the toll that you pay in objectifying other human beings, because you have a certain amount of objective. Yeah, because every time you...
I just want to remind you that you said I'm objectifying a person if I say hello and they say hello back. So the thousands of people that I've said hello to have taken a toll on my body?
No, because it's such a small amount.
Okay.
What?
So the thousands of people that I've shaken hands with have taken a toll on my body?
No, too small amount.
Okay. Where's the threshold where it's a bigger amount, and how do you measure that?
Well, you can't. We all have individual standards for what how much objectifying you can be subject to, and how
What?
much you want to
How do you
objectify.
measure it?
How do you measure it? I don't think you can measure it, and because
All right.
it's something.
Yeah, we're there.
You
We're at
can't
the point
measure it,
where
I think.
I just want you to know that your entire view is incoherent. Like, if you can't measure it, then what are you making claims about it for? If you can't measure it, how do you know that one is bigger than the other?
Oh, well, even though you can't measure it, you can say something is more than the other.
How? How do you know?
You can't do it without measuring.
Well, yes, you can.
Sure. Tell me how.
I can't measure a mountain.
Yes, you
but
can.
I can tell that a mountain is bigger than a tree.
By
measuring it.
Yeah. In that case,
but
where it's
I
obvious,
can physically measure it.
Yeah, Brad, where it's obvious, sure, but like you do need to measure it at the end of the day to know for sure, right?
Okay, yeah, sure, I get your point.
Okay.
Hold
so,
on.
okay, let me try and think then.
Listen, hold on, Brad. If you look at a mountain and then you look at a raccoon, you're measuring it with your eyes. It's a rough measurement, but you can tell one is bigger. In this case, you can't even tell me the rough size.
Sure,
and how you're observing it.
But can you measure love?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you can. How would you measure love?
In acts of kindness. You can measure love in chemical readings that you can take in the brain. There's tons of ways, depending on your theory of what love is. I don't know why. I have no idea. Listen. Hey, Brad. I have no fucking clue why you're talking right now. Depending on what you think love is, if somebody says, "Hey, this person loves somebody more," they would have to give me an accounting of what they mean by that, not just say it and walk away, right?
They don't have to. The love is still there, even though you can't see it or not.
If I tell my wife I love you so much, and she goes, "How do you demonstrate that?" and I go, "I can't," then I didn't.
No,
say
you're wrong
anything.
there, because that's your. Whether or not you can tell that the love is true or not doesn't mean whether or not it's there. The love is there whether or not you can see it.
Yeah, we're back at incoherency. Yeah, so is the teapot that's floating around Jupiter. My question is, how are you making claims about this thing that you have no idea how to observe or measure?
Well, by your standard of measuring, now I can say that I can measure that. Because I didn't know that you could measure it the way I wouldn't say that you actually measure love.
Instead
but
of
if
giving me
you're
the
using that
preamble,
standard,
how do you measure the different degrees of objectification?
Well, I would say you can measure it by looking at how much intimacy you have with the person versus whatever physical pleasure you get out of their body.
That's going to be a mistake because, number one, neither of those two things were in your definition of objectification. Remember, I could say hello to my wife and you'd be thinking I'm objectifying her in some small amount. Are you saying that if I say hello to my wife and I say hello to Doug, there's a different level of objectification because I'm more intimate with my wife?
No, it's the same.
Okay, so intimacy doesn't matter. Great. If I get a lot of pleasure out of saying hello to my wife,
no, disagree.
Hold on. You said you measure it by the different levels of intimacy. I gave you an example where I did the same action and there's two different levels of intimacy, and it didn't change your measurement of observation, of objectification, right? Let's just make it very clear. Before we get messy, before we get sloppy, let's make it super clear. You said one way to measure objectification is through levels of intimacy. Is that right or wrong?
Guys, remember 20K new guys.
I said that. Yeah, I said that.
Okay, cool. So now I told you I have a level of intimacy with Doug. He's my friend, and a much different level of intimacy with my wife, with whom I've been married for 16 plus years. Okay? If I say hello to Doug and I say hello to my wife, am I objectifying them the same or different?
In that situation, I would say the same, probably.
Okay. So in what way is the difference in intimacy measuring a difference in objectification?
Because intimacy is not isolated to the one situation that you are in. Intimacy with your partner is measured in not just the moment you're saying hi to them, it's also measured in your memories and your relationship to each other.
How does that affect the objective? Like, memories aren't objectifying. I don't need anybody else's body to have memories. I can actually forge memories where I don't need anybody's body.
I'm saying
So
that,
my question,
you need them for intimacy.
Stop talking. My question to you is very, very simple. How, in the example I gave you, are you using intimacy to measure a difference in objectification?
Because you subtract the amount of physical pleasure, or you take the physical pleasure, whatever pleasure you gain from doing something to someone.
This motherfucker's going to make up a formula on the spot. Go ahead.
Versus the intimacy and how much they get back.
From saying hello?
you're making me make a formula of measuring intimacy.
I didn't ask you for
here.
I didn't ask you
so
for a formula.
I'm sorry if my
Marshmallow Brain, listen, I didn't ask you for a formula. You decided to pull a formula out of your rectum. I asked you, how are you making the difference in measurement?
Yeah, but you asked me to measure something
likes,
as objectifying, and I don't think you can actually measure objectifying. At the same time, I don't think you can measure love. And I would say that you are
motherfucker just said, Doug, am I having a fever dream? Did he not just say, well, now that you've given me that example, I have a way to measure objectification. Look, if I told you I could measure love, I want you to stop talking while I'm talking there, Marshmallow Brain. If I told you I could measure love and I said, hey,
Doug,
every single day, no, you can't ask any questions.
Justin Mill talking.
Like every single day in the morning, I make myself coffee and then I make my wife coffee exactly how she likes it, right? Because even though my coffee is going to be cold when it's done, and this is a fictional story, my wife doesn't drink as much coffee as I do, but even though my coffee is going to be cold, I'm going to make her coffee because I want her to have coffee the way she likes it, right? I'm going to do that. That would be a sacrifice that you've measured, like, wow, Jeff really loves coffee. He hates cold coffee, but he's willing to drink cold coffee so his wife can have hot coffee. That's a measurement of love. Holy cow. There's a measurement. So now I've given you a scenario where
that's something you can observe.
Duh,
not
that's
a
how you
measurement.
measure shit, by observing. Welcome to science. So now,
but
now
just
I've given
because
you
you
a
can't
scenario.
measure
This is the
something
part.
doesn't
This is
mean
not the
it's
part
not
where
there.
this is not the part where your vocal cords should be engaged. This is the part where your ears should be engaged. You should probably grab a notebook and a crayon or something. And now I've given you a scenario where I don't think I'm objectifying anybody when I say hello to them. You made that ridiculous claim, so I'm testing that ridiculous claim, and you're like, "Yeah, I can measure differences in objectification." Clearly, if I make Doug coffee, I don't love Doug as much as I love my wife, so I'm probably not going to let him make my coffee cold like I would my wife.
Jeff. That's very rude,
right?
Jeff.
So, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. So there's a measurement that I love Doug one level and I love my wife a different level. Boom, measurement, difference. Now I'm giving you two people that clearly I have different levels of intimacy with, which is your standard of measurement. And I gave you the action and you're like, no difference.
Sure. So Doug, may I ask you a question?
Sure, guys. New guest at 20,000 likes. What do you got?
Does Jeff have some kind of privilege here?
What do you mean by
I
privilege?
mean, am I allowed to be as rude as him, or am I being kicked if I'm being the same way?
You can do anything that you want. Do you have this overwhelming
I'm
need
just
to be
asking
rude?
because you seem to be like friends. And
Do you have this overwhelming need to be rude to him? I mean, if you
no,
really
but
want
I would like to, you know, speak when I'm speaking.
You can speak.
That's it.
Here's the problem that you have, Brett.
All right.
Is that every time you speak, I don't say a word. But then when I start speaking, you want to interject in the middle of my sentence. And then you call me rude. That's mighty white of you.
All right. So so I will give you that you're asking me to measure something, which is, you know, objectifying. And yes, I would start off by saying that is not something you can measure, because in my understanding of the word measure, you would be able to measure it whether or not you can observe it or not. I would say that something that you do to another person in your own mind is not something you can measure. But if you say that you can measure love, because love is something in your brain, and you can't, if you are incapable of moving, you can't make your wife coffee. And so even though you can't make your wife coffee, does it mean you're not loving your wife? No. So there is probably some way to scan your brain and measure the love, I guess. But maybe you could do that to objectifying as well. I would say yes, in theory, you could. You can measure someone's brain activity when they're having sex to someone, and you could tell how much do they actually think about the person being there, and how much are they just thinking about the body that is laying there. And you can probably cross-reference that with someone having sex with a doll, and then you could say, okay, this person is objectifying their wife, or objectifying whoever they're sleeping with, this and that much. Okay? I can't explain how you would measure that.
You have that data?
But that is the way to measure it. And if you want me
do
to...
you have that data?
Absolutely not, I don't.
Oh, okay. So then here's what I would expect you to do. I wouldn't expect you to go in front of 265 people and make a ridiculous claim like saying hello to somebody is objectifying them. And then, when pressed, how do you measure that? Come up with some fictional science fiction scenario. Like, hey, you can measure and see, when I look at Doug and I say hello, it's like if I'm looking at my G.I. Joes and saying hello, and I have a measurement for that, but I don't have it, right? That's just you talking about Narnia.
Yeah,
all right, Brad. Brad. We hit 20K. No. I already extended you well beyond your initial goal.
That's bonkers.
Make sure you guys follow Jeff if you enjoy what he had to say. Give him a little bit of support if you guys can, though. And make sure you follow myself, too, and send in to heart me. Please and thank you. How you doing, Jeff? Oh, I meant to get back to you yesterday. I totally forgot. I'll get back to you about this. Yeah, about your YouTube thing.
No, it's what you get back to me whenever. I'll give you the elevator pitch.
Yeah. Cool. Shade. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Shade. Is that it?
Yeah, Shade or whatever. I just had like an opposite.
I just need to know your age. I just need to know your age first. How old are you?
You wouldn't guess, but I'm 29.
All right, you're 29. And are you opposition? Do you think body count matters?
So it matters, but in a good way, actually. I don't know if
okay.
It's
I'm
okay
only.
For you.
I'm only looking for people that think it matters, particularly like in a
bad
negative
way. It's fine.
Yeah. No, you're all good. Let me go ahead and bring you down, but take care, okay? Yeah, guys, I'm only looking for people that think it matters, like in the sense that's like says something negative about somebody or whatever, okay? So if you agree with myself and Jeff, please drop. Thank you. All right, let's get to this guest over here. Caleb, hello.
Hey, I'm 19, but I just heard your message about only people that would look negatively about it.
Okay, so you don't think body count matters, or at least in a negative way?
Well, I think it matters, but not in the other ways that
people typically say this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me go ahead and bring it down because I'm only looking, again for opposition. But I appreciate that, guys. Once again, please, if you disagree, hit the or if you disagree, come up. If you're friendly, please don't come up or drop. All right, Hugo, how are you doing?
Hello.
Hey, how old are you?
28.
28. Okay. And do you think body count matters?
Yes.
All right. Do you think it matters for men and women equally, one more than the other, or what?
I mean, if it matters for men, that's up to women. That's not for me to decide.
Oh, okay. That's fine. So what do you think it matters for women?
Yeah, it's just very repulsive, and it's just quite embarrassing. Like if you're walking in public and your girl has been like she's been ran through by like 50
Mm.
different men. It's kind of just embarrassing to be seen in public with her.
Well, embarrassment would be only on the person who is embarrassed, right? Like for two things. One, how would other people know? And secondly, again, embarrassment is only because you're feeling it. If you don't feel if you don't feel said embarrassment, then it wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah, so I feel embarrassment. Like I'd be embarrassed by that.
Why?
So I don't, because it's
But
just
why?
embarrassing. Like if I'm walking past people and they know her, they're like, oh, that's the girl she used to give brain. Like I just don't find that attractive. You know what I mean?
How would people know these things, right? Like we're not in school anymore. It's not like people know who you're dating or whatever. As an
Well,
adult, you're typically dating someone who people don't know who that person
They
is.
do. If she's sleeping around, the information will get around.
Where? Tell me how that would work. Okay, so I meet
So
somebody say on a
someone-
dating. Hold on, I meet somebody say on a dating app, right? And we go on a date. We're walking around. How the fuck would all these people know about this person?
So someone slept with her. He told his friends. His friend told his friends. They told their friends, and now there are 40 extra people who know because he told everybody who he slept with. I mean, it happens all the time. You see all these guys. You see so many women just randomly say, "Oh, they slept with this celebrity," etc., etc., etc. So I think the idea that information doesn't get around is just not true. I mean, I'm pretty sure information does get around.
Quick question: Are you a celebrity?
No.
All right. Let me ask you this, because it sounds like you're doing what Brett was accusing us of doing, and objectifying people. I'm gonna hope that that's not what you're doing, but we'll do this little test. Let's say that you did have a partner who had been intimate and had sex with 50 other people. I don't know why you use the term ran through. That's weird. I'm assuming that they were participating in the activity, so they were doing running themselves, so they were mutually a participant, correct?
Okay.
They're not like a rag doll. They're actually engaging in the activity, right?
Sure.
All right. And the activity was, maybe it was good, maybe it was bad, but it wasn't enough to make them go back to the establishment.
Does it go back to the person who they were with before?
Yeah, they went to a new person. So after one, they went to two all the way up to 50. None of those places were enough to get the person to stay. Now they're with you.
Okay,
right?
that's not flex.
Well, I didn't ask about a flex. Like, this isn't a flex situation. I understand. Look, I'm not going to say it because I know you'll crash out, but we all understand your status. Like, I just want you to know, we see through you like glass.
I don't know what that means.
It's, you are bunless, is what I'm saying. What
I
I'm saying is,
I think that would be you, because the only women you get are the women who everyone gets.
I've been
That'll be
married
you.
I've been married for 16 years.
With a woman who everyone already had.
What I will tell you is that your headboard has never made forceful contact with the wall in your bedroom. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but
I guarantee
you getting married is like
that
going
your
to
next door
a prison.
neighbors have no idea what your name is.
Yeah, but
They
you
go,
getting,
there's the guy that lives next door to us.
You being with
This
your
is what I
wife
know,
is like
right?
a
Like,
man
look,
being with an
you
escort.
asked for this,
It's
right?
the same thing.
What I know for a fact is that when you wake up in the morning, it takes very little effort to make your bed.
I know you married an escort. You probably married an escort.
I know 100%. Like, how long have you been married for?
I haven't been married, but if I was married, I would have married a woman like your wife.
Let me ask you this.
You think being married to a run-through woman is a flex?
Stop running away. Stop running away.
Hugo,
Stop running away.
shush.
You're being rude. The question right now is, if I was to express your longest relationship as an age, what grade would your longest relationship be in? Kindergarten? Preschool? High school?
Probably, yeah.
You've been in a relationship for 5 years?
Probably less than that.
How long is your longest relationship?
Probably 2 years.
Okay. So you see, you're also one of the restaurants that people don't go back to. Bunless,
So,
like
bro,
I said.
okay, you've been speaking for a while now, if you don't want to tell me. So you
No.
are
Look,
married to a
here's
woman who everyone had. That's not flex.
What's
That's
the
embarrassing.
body count of my wife?
I'm guessing over 70, but
Okay, great.
based on how you're
Let me ask you
defending it.
this. Let me ask you this.
Which is
stupid
embarrassing,
motherfucker.
bro. That's
Hey,
embarrassing.
hey, it's not embarrassing. But
That
let me ask
explains
you.
why you got
hey,
in. Wait, that
Hugo,
explains why you got in.
Hugo,
crash out.
chill.
Hey, crash out. Let me ask you this
That
question.
explains how you got in.
Hey, stupid. Let me ask you this question. What On what did you base your inference?
Because you are defending women who have been with lots of men, and the reason why you're defending is because your wife is ran through as well.
Okay, so you're an idiot. Okay, good. So you don't have any reason to make that assertion. Great. So
I
now let's
can
get
make
to
the
the
assertion based on what I
I
just
don't
said.
know why you're hey orangutan. I don't know why you're interrupting. Relax.
Bro, it's not
Take a
my
breather.
fault you married the local
Hey,
town
lemur.
back.
Hey, talking lemur. It's okay. You don't have to crash out. We know that you don't even know what WAP stands for. We
It
understand.
tells me. Wait.
So
You've just
now
spoken for a
let's
while.
stop
Oh my god,
talking.
man.
Let's stop talking. Now, what you're going to do
Why
is
is
you're
your
going
wife
to
so
get
easy
back.
to get? Could you tell us that?
You're going to go back to the substance of the question I asked you. Do you remember the question I asked you?
Hey
Bro,
guys,
why is your
30,000 likes,
wife?
new guest.
Why is your wife so
That's
easy
the
to get?
so now
Just
you're
tell us that.
confused. So you don't even know which proper nouns are which. I asked you a question. So the question that I asked you, very simply put, like, I know you have a crush on me and you need to disparage my wife so that I can divorce her and get with you. I know you're going to be in my DMs later.
Bro,
That's
why
fine.
would I want a woman
It's the
who
last day of
70 different men
Pride.
have
I
been
want
with?
you to show out and
That's
be
why you
yourself,
got
my
her.
guy.
You got her
But
because
right
everybody
now,
else
You
did.
go.
what you're doing is you're being a lower primate. The question on the table, the only thing we're interested in is after a person has engaged with 50 people, right? What is the issue when they're with you?
The issue is, it's embarrassing. I don't want to be seen with somebody who has been with that many women or with that many men. It's embarrassing, and I know you don't have shame. And the
Okay,
fact
cool.
is, it's easy. Wait. It's what's
No, you're
hard to
fine.
get. Oh
It's
my
fine.
god, can you just
Listen.
shut up for 5 minutes?
No,
bro?
I don't need to
Not
shut
even
up.
30
Here's what I'm
seconds. You
going to
can't
know.
shut your mouth.
Here's what I've understood about you now.
You literally can't
Is that
shut up for 30 seconds.
No, I can't. You're absolutely right. I have a compulsion to stop bullshit from being spewed. You are
It's not bullshit. It's my
objectifying.
preference.
Listen,
What are you talking about?
yeah, your preference is bullshit.
No, it's
So
not bullshit. I don't want your wife.
you're
Your wife is
objectifying.
not somebody that I would be
All
attracted
right,
to.
Hugo, shut the
You are.
fuck up.
You are.
God damn it.
I don't need you to be attracted to my wife. She's my wife. Like, what are you? Are you lost? Like, you objectify women and you look at them like a game, and you're just upset that your 3 initials are never going to be at the top of the list. That's the issue. You're never going to have your 3 initials at the top of the high scoreboard. That's a you problem, guy. Just say
Keep
you're
tapping
bad. Just say you're
30,000
bad.
likes, guys. New guest.
Bro, look, you just have to accept the fact that your wife is not someone that we would find attractive, so we want a different type of woman.
Hugo, that's a shitty argument. Come on.
It's
make
not.
better
I've just
arguments.
explained to you.
It's a
I
shitty
don't
argument.
want that
Nobody
type
gives
of
a
woman.
fuck.
If you
Literally
don't give a
nobody
fuck,
cares.
why do you
Have
have
a
this
better
title?
argument.
Why do you have this title up then?
Can you come up with a better argument, please?
I don't have to justify my preferences to someone like you. It's just I
The
just don't
whole
want you.
point of
That's it.
this, Hugo, is to tell us why you think body count matters. So you do have
how
to
does it wait?
justify it.
So
Yes.
how does it work? So how
And
does it
yet
work?
Hugo
Do I
begged Doug.
oh my days, man. So do
And
I
yet
have to
Hugo begged Doug
bloody hell,
by
man, just
requesting
shut up for 5 seconds, bro.
to beg for his preference to be
Just shut up
heard.
for 2 minutes.
He's a poor. He's a peasant. In the same way that he begs, baby, please, can I take you to the multiplex? Yes, he does use the term multiplex,
for 2
unironically.
minutes. Are you
Right?
incapable of
In
shutting
that
up for 2
same
minutes?
way that he goes, yeah, I have a girlfriend. She just goes to another school when he talks to his friends. In that same way, right?
Here's the
he
reality,
doesn't
guys.
care
Right?
what we think.
Jeff
Why should
couldn't
I have
get
to
the difficult
justify
woman.
it to you?
Erica, you wanna chime in real quick? How you doing?
Hugo, are you single?
Yeah.
So you couldn't get the difficult women either. Got
No,
you.
but those are the ones I want. I wouldn't want women like Jeff's wife.
Yeah,
That's
but
the point.
they don't want you.
That's
Otherwise
fine.
you'd-
That's
otherwise
my
you'd
way, but
have
that's my
one.
aim. That's my aim. But the
otherwise
ones
you'd
who I
have
ran
one.
through are not even my aim. I don't even want anything to do with them. Jeff's wife would be the woman I laugh at. If I saw Jeff's wife, I'd be like, how could you wife
except
that?
you have no clue. You have no clue any details about Jeff's wife
You
whatsoever.
can tell by the way he talks that she's ran through. He had to. That's the only way Jeff can get women. Jeff can only get
you
escorts.
understand?
Jeff can only get women
how
with
old is
700. He
Doug?
can only
How
get
old
Bonnie
is-
All right,
Beans.
Shut up. Doug, how old is Hugo?
I don't remember
28.
what he said.
You're 28.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you're not married yet.
No, I'm not.
Why not?
I want to be with a woman of caliber, not Jeff's wife.
With what?
With a woman of caliber, not people like Jeff's wife.
What? Oh god. Why is? I don't know. I'm not even going to go there.
Just so you know, Doug, my wife is actively roasting this dude in the chat.
How are you roasting me?
Yeah, I
You
bet
married
she
a
is.
whore.
Hang on a minute. Right, first of all, Hugo, I would like you to prove that through objective means. Like, I would like some kind of some objective means to do that.
Okay, look.
No, shut up. Shushies. I'm your mummy now.
Wait, he didn't
Be
say
quiet.
woman of caliber, right? Did he say it wasn't woman of caliber?
I
Right?
thought
It
he
was
said
woman
a
of.
woman of color.
That's what I heard.
Caliber. What?
Oh, caliber,
It's a caliber. What are you talking about?
Okay.
What makes a woman of caliber, Hugo?
She has to be difficult, not like Jeff's wife. She has to be somebody who rejects
So she has
other
to make
people.
it a game. So it has to be like
she
a
has to be
game to
somebody
you.
who not everybody can get.
This nigga is obsessed with me. Like me roasting him was the highlight of his day. He's gonna be thinking about me for the next week.
Bro, can I ask you a question? Has your wife participated in a gangbang? Yes or
Be
no?
quiet. Be quiet. Everybody, well, all women I know, all of them have rejected people. Every single one of them.
Not Jeff's wife. Not Jeff's wife.
Prove it. Then prove it. Objectively.
Because her body count's high. That's how you know.
Prove it.
Her body count is high, so you know she doesn't reject.
No.
She just lets
She's
everyone
asking
in.
you to prove it. She's asking you to prove it.
Prove that her body
Because
count
he's
is high.
defending it so hard. He's defending it so
you don't
hard.
understand. Okay, Hugo, you don't understand. Not all men are red-pilled pieces of shit. Some are. Some, obviously, some are. Some aren't. Some understand that before somebody has got into a relationship with them.
Bye, Hugo.
Yeah, bye, Hugo.
We have 30K.
Some men understand that people have pasts that don't include them and don't reflect on them.
Hi, DJ.
Hello. How we doing?
I am doing well. How old are you?
29.
29. All right. And do you think body count matters?
No.
You don't think it matters?
No. Not
Okay,
at all.
I'm only looking for people that think it matters. Guys, please, only looking for people that think it matters. All right, looking for debates, please. Please and thank you for joining the live. Follow myself, Erica, and Jeff as well. Okay.
Hugo's funny. He thinks winning is never being able to attain the kind of women that are the only ones that he wants to attain. It's wild.
Oh,
Hi,
shoot, my
Cooper.
bad. I didn't mean to request. Nah, I don't think
You're
body
right.
count matters. I'm just watching.
You're all good, man. You're all good. No worries. That's 2 men in a row that says it doesn't matter. I'm very surprised. Is that progress? All right, next one. All right, I'm trying to sift through the ones in the request box. Give me a minute, guys. Remember, guys, we're looking for people to debate with. If you agree with Erica, myself, and Jeff, please do drop. Okay. I've convinced them. I mean, I don't know about that, but maybe.
Good afternoon.
Oh God, George! Oh, God damn it! I didn't mean to bring you up. Nah,
So how are you doing?
No, I don't like you.
George is not the person to speak to about body count.
I just
he's
don't like
never
him.
going to have one above 0.
I really dislike him, to be honest. Michael, how you doing? Michael.
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm fine. How old are you? I'm fine. How old are you?
I'm 59.
All right. And do you believe body count matters?
I'm 59.
Okay. And do you think body count
It
matters?
does matter.
Okay. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, if I'm with a woman that has been with everybody, then there's no value in her for me.
Why
If
why
my
does her
wife-
value depend on that person being with somebody else?
Because there is nothing that value more to me than virginity.
Why is that
I
important?
don't value millions of dollars like I value virginity. Like
real
I
quick.
value the
Real
purity
quick,
of.
I'm just gonna issue, like, this is just helping you out here. Stark warning: you are at the border of self-snitchville. I just want you to know your rights here. You do have the right against self-incrimination. So if you are going to say any weird shit, just think very long and hard before you say any sentences that proceed after "I value virginity." Okay, it just seems a little pedo-ish. Just saying. I'm just gonna go on mute, but I'm just letting you know you're about to tell on yourself, and yeah. So I'm just go. But
I think the entire chat would agree with you there.
Just wanted to be fair here. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let me repeat what I said earlier. There is nothing I value more than virginity and the purity of a woman.
I have a question for you, Michael. Michael, are you from Birmingham?
From where?
Birmingham.
No.
Because it's weird, because a couple of weeks ago we spoke to a guy who sounded very like you and said the exact same things that you were saying, and I have a feeling that you're putting an accent on.
No, I'm Jamaican.
I think you're the guy that we spoke to from Birmingham who then stayed in the comments for about an hour afterwards being weird.
Well, I don't. What you think is not important right now? I know that I'm a Jamaican.
I know he sounds Jamaican, but we spoke to. It's the same guy.
When did you speak to him?
Me no come from no country where you think me come from. Me a Jamaican, born here, so grow here, so
No, because now what happened? Now what happened, you see, is when I called him out, his accent suddenly got a whole ton thicker. It's the same guy. It's the guy from Birmingham that was really weird a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, God. Guys, just be normal. It's not that difficult to be normal. We're looking for opposition, please. People that think body count matters. Hit the request button, please. Follow Erica and Jeff as well if you're enjoying live. God, some of these people are so insufferable. Seriously. All right. And if you guys can send the heart me as well, too, that'd be great. They're at the top left. Okay.
Doug, I just replied to your message, by the way. My message to you, then your message back.
Oh. I will respond more in a bit. Jeez.
Okay.
Oh. Thank you, Chris. Mike, thank you. Make sure you guys send in the heart me if you can, please. Thank you again. All right, let's get to the next guest. Where are they? No, George, I don't want to bring you on up. George, I'm going to block you. Yep, this way I don't have to see your profile picture anymore. I don't have to hear your voice. Nothing.
Doug thought that George's profile picture was George Santos when actually
it looks like George Santos.
George. It was that George.
I mean, you can't blame me. He does look like George Santos. At least the profile picture does.
By that, do you mean he has a round face?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. The name was George, and he just looked vaguely like him, so I just kind of put two and two together. If you were a woman, yes, I have body count matters. Sophie, why don't you come on up? You as a woman, why are you defending that so much, Sophie? You can come on up. Ask if Hugo's still here. I don't know if Hugo's still here. I don't know. No, Hugo is still here. Yeah, I see him in the live. He is still here. Keep tapping and sharing, everybody, if you can. And where is opposition at? You having a good day, Erica?
Yeah. I meet my new students tomorrow. So
thank you, Carl.
Well, I don't meet them. I've been teaching them for 2 years. I already know them, but they become my class tomorrow.
Hi, Red.
I don't know how I got on this. I didn't intend to.
You're okay. No worries. I'll go ahead and bring you down. Take care, all right? Looking for opposition, please. If you disagree that body count matters, or that doesn't, or you think body count does matter, hit the request button, okay? Thank you, Carl. Appreciate that. And
how are you today, Doug?
I'm good. Not too bad.
I feel like you ask me a lot and I never ask you back.
That's because you don't give a fuck about me. That's why.
You know that's not true.
I don't know. The Babin?
Yeah.
The Babin.
Just
How are you? Okay. I just need to know. I'm great. I just need to know your age. How old are you?
18.
Okay. And you think body count matters?
Yeah. So I think it matters to whoever it matters to. So the same way, like I feel like money matters to whoever it
Okay.
matters to. It's the same here, and I also
Sure.
think.
But I'm asking you on an individual
Excuse me.
basis. Yeah, you on an individual basis. Why does it matter?
I'm not a like conservative Christian. I don't think you should be a virgin or anything, but I think there's a certain limit for me personally. I just get a feeling of, I guess, disdain.
What's that limit?
I would say around. I'm 18, so for my age group, like let's say another 18-year-old girl, I would say around 5. It's like I'm
5?
like, wow, how?
Okay. And how do you
at
measure
18? At 18,
how,
yeah.
how do you measure a body?
Having sexual intercourse, or having sexual intercourse. That's how I measure it.
Okay. And why 5? What happens between 4 and 5 that makes it a difference?
For me, so we're talking about why does body count matter in the context of dating, right? And for me,
Well, in the
if I'm
context,
gonna
no, in the
date
context,
someone,
not even necessarily dating, just in context of
yeah.
just anything.
Oh, and yeah, well, I think it only matters in the context of dating. Like if you're going to work and your body count is 10, no, it shouldn't affect you, right? I don't think there should be any. So I only think it matters in the context of dating, and the reason I think it matters in the context of dating is like, I think that yes, there are plenty of people who maybe want to date seriously and then end up with shitty people. So I understand that your body count might not be 1 or 2 or even 3, right? But once your
So
body
what is
count
it?
exceeds a certain amount,
Mhm.
it's either you are just a promiscuous person to me, right? If I obviously would have to ask questions, but these are
What does
assumptions that you
promiscuous
can make
mean?
that are general.
What's your definition of
Promiscuous just
promiscuous?
to me, yeah, to me, because I don't know the literal definition off the top of my head, but to me, it's like a person who easily moves in between sexual relations between multiple people very quickly.
Okay, and why is that
Very
a bad
quickly
thing?
is relative, but yeah.
Why is that a
I
bad
think
thing?
it's a bad thing because I think it's a bad thing because if I like somebody, I don't want them to just easily just move on from me like that, and then the
Why?
next day just have
Does it
someone else.
does it make you feel like that they didn't matter to you, or you didn't matter to them as much as you felt? Like,
Yeah,
why would it
exactly.
matter
Like
that they
that's
move on from
exactly.
you so quickly or not? Like, why?
It would matter because, like, for me, when I try to get into a relationship, I don't get into a relationship for the sake of like, oh, this is a momentary thing, and then we
Yeah.
just go our separate ways. I want it
No,
to
no, but
last,
them
right?
moving,
So when
yeah,
I
but
meet
them moving
somebody, I
on,
want.
them moving on though. Why is it like? Listen, I understand from an insecurity standpoint. Like, listen, I got my
Yeah,
insecurities.
sure.
If someone moved on from me really quickly, it would probably bother me. But like, just because
Yeah,
like me insecure. But really, why does it matter though? Insecurities aside.
because why does it matter? So
Yeah,
but that's why I'm saying
yeah. Why does it matter?
because I feel a type of way about it. It matters to me,
Yeah, but
right?
that doesn't
So
yeah. But that doesn't dictate why it matters though. In a general sense, right? You're
what do
just
you?
telling us your
Okay,
feelings
okay.
as to.
I think like might have like a different. What do you mean by matters? Like, do you mean does it have like a tangible negative effect of so like is that what you mean?
Yeah, like what does it
Like, what
say
do you
about
mean by
somebody?
matters?
Yeah, somebody's body count. What does it
Oh,
reasonably say about as to who they are as a person?
well, if it's ridiculously high, it could say a lot of things, but like I
Like
said,
what?
promiscuity is one of the first. Promiscuity, for example, is one of the first ones. Things of that
What
nature.
else?
And if you're a person who does not want to be with someone promiscuous, your body count is going to matter. And I feel like, and I know, it's not even I feel like, I know for a fact, most people don't want to be with somebody who
But
a lot of other people have been with.
what?
So it does matter. It has an effect on people, and it does matter to people because they
Okay,
feel that way.
gotcha. Okay. So
Yeah.
why again does being promiscuous matter? What's bad in an inherent way as to somebody sleeping around with somebody else, more so or less so?
There really isn't. There really isn't.
Okay. Then why is that
But
a
if
reasoning
you're
as
trying,
to?
if because that's inherently almost nothing is inherently bad, right? That's why I said I'm talking about a relationship specifically. I mean, I'm young. I've been in situations where I'm like, I don't want a relationship, but we can just have fun. That's acceptable. But if you want to date somebody long term, right, and the person has a history of, yeah, I guess, cutting off things very quickly, even though you want to date long term, it's literally not a good idea to go with someone like that, right? It just doesn't make, it's
Hang on.
not going to end well for you.
What if that person what if you just weren't right for them and they are asserting their standard by breaking up with you because you're not right for them? Surely that's a good thing that they've ended that rather than carrying it on with you just for the sake of. Are you asserting that the other person in the relationship has to carry on a relationship with you, even though they might not want to and they would be unhappy in it, to gratify you?
And guys, new guest at
No,
55,000 likes, by the
absolutely
way. 55,000 likes, new guest.
Give me a second.
Okay. If you guys are enjoying live, follow myself, follow Jeff, follow Erica. Show a little bit of support if you can. While it's not needed, it's appreciated. And pay links are in the bio as well. Same deal. Not needed, but appreciated.
I feel like you've had a lot of people that have been engaging in like independent research today, Doug, because they all seem to know what most people would want. And I'm just wondering how they know what most people want.
Because they are psychic. They know everything.
We've got a bunch of sociologists up here, guys, who are engaging in research studies.
All right, guess. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm back. So, what was your question again, the lady? Oh, yeah, no, I remember. So, no, I'm not insinuating that at all, actually. But I think that if you know a person's nature, and you know they're a person that moves on quickly and gets into relationships quickly and then leaves them quickly, and you're a person who wants to have a lasting relationship, you are going to avoid someone like that. So, like, for example, there are people that want a lasting relationship, but for some reason they always end up in short-term relationships, always, right? And usually it's almost never the case that 15 people were all bad and you're just trying to have a long-lasting relationship. Generally, it's a trait that you have that is pushing these people away. So if you're trying to now get with somebody and you find out that they have a promiscuous past due to, even if they wanted a long-lasting relationship, they have traits that are pushing people away. So for you to then try to stay with someone like that is just not ideal. It just
what traits?
Like I said, there are people that get into relationships and then lose feelings. Like I know people that love
Why do people lose
more
feelings?
when they're not. Sometimes there isn't a specific. Sometimes they don't even know. Like I knew a girl. I'm just using anecdotal evidence, but it's an example. I'm not saying every promiscuous person is like this, but I'm just using it as an example. I know a girl that like she likes people way more before she talks to them, and even if they're great after she talks to them and they actually start dating, for some reason she just detaches herself, right?
I'm gonna
I mean, maybe it's a
pause you
trauma
for
response, maybe it's something. Yeah.
I'm gonna pause you for 1 second. Just I'm gonna deal with you with like very light gloves because you're young, and I don't like really like knocking around. But like the older folks, they should know better. But I'm gonna have you consider for one moment that somebody who thinks like you is not an open door for any woman, right? We're talking about women here, to go up to and say, this is the reason that I didn't like my last partner. Like, I'm going to assume you haven't had that sit down with that person, correct?
I have.
You have. You sat down and said, hey, your last partner,
Yeah.
why did you break up with them? And they said to you, hey, person that I'm really good friends with and I trust, here's the actual reason I broke up with my last partner. What did they say?
Yeah, so in the case that I was naming, so she had a guy she liked, and
Hang on, just stop a second.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you now, Doug is going to get really angry with you if you eat while you're talking.
Oh, yeah, please
So-
don't do the eating while you're
So
talking. Yeah,
finish your mouthful of food, and then don't eat
Yeah.
again until you're off the live.
And also,
Just
do we have mods in
leave
the
it behind.
we have mods in the comments, by the way?
Oi.
Oh my god, that is loud. We have mods in the comments. I just want to make sure we have enough because somebody was saying that there's some comments going on or whatever. Just make sure mods so you're just meeting like any ableist stuff or whatever. All right, guess go. And just don't eat or don't talk what you think. Go ahead.
So just to be clear, what I'm looking for is that they went up to you and said, there is an attribute about me that pushes my partners away. Is that what they said?
No, she did not say that. She
Okay,
said,
so then this is not an
whenever she
example
gets
of
with somebody.
this isn't
No,
an
but
example of what you
can
said.
I finish?
No, because it's not an example of what you said. Remember, you said that there's something about them that pushes people away. If they detach themselves, I think you're okay with that. Because let me ask you this: like, I keep saying up here, I've been married for 16 years. If my wife no longer wanted to be married and I wanted to be married for another 20, do you think I should tie her up and keep her here, or do you think I should honor her wishes and revocation of consent? Not you would disappear. Like if I wanted to stay married for the rest of my life and my wife wanted to leave, should I honor her wishes or should I tie her up and keep her here?
You should honor her wishes.
Okay, so then it's not a bad thing if somebody wants to leave, right?
It's not like I said, it's not an immoral thing, as in it doesn't make you a bad person.
I'm not saying
but
bad
if you
as in
want
immoral. I'm saying
yeah,
qualitative.
like bad as in, but it isn't. Yeah, of course it's bad.
Why would it be bad for somebody to?
Because assuming you want to stay married to your wife, your wife leaving you is going to have a negative impact on you, which is bad. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
saying,
sad. That's just sad, right? But here's the
yeah,
thing,
it's sad.
and
Yeah.
I'm saying this to you because I think this is a good point to kind of teach you this. Sometimes you got to get over shit, right? Like at any stage, when we say consent is revocable at any time, at any stage, whether it's high or I've known you for 30 years, that consent can be revoked, and you might be sad about it, but that's just something to get over. That's all it is. It's something to get over. Like you can go to therapy, you can talk to your close friends, but what you shouldn't do is go, hey, there's a bad thing that happened here, whether moral or otherwise. You shouldn't say that. It's people should be allowed to exercise their preferences, to exercise their revocation of consent at any time, and we shouldn't be making qualitative or otherwise judgments on that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
sure, I
as well.
understand
I
that,
think
but
as well,
if
Jeff.
I
I think as well, Jeff. And I was explaining this to a class that I was teaching today when we were talking about consent. I wouldn't want to have to convince somebody that they want to stay in a relationship with me, or I wouldn't want to convince somebody that that they want to sleep with me or whatever. My self-worth is higher than needing to convince anybody that they want to stay. If someone wants to go and be elsewhere, I want them to go because I don't want to be with someone who isn't 100% into me. And I'm sure that's the same way you feel, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, 60,000 likes, new guest. Okay, keep tapping, keep sharing. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of the points y'all made. But effectively, what you said has nothing to do with whether or not, like, a high body count matters or not. I said it doesn't matter.
We'll get to that point. Like I wanted to like clear up the potential grape apologia. So now we got that clear. Let's look at this.
Okay.
Well, that's what it is. Purity culture is just grape
That's not what it
apologia.
is.
It literally is. Like I'm telling you, and this is the reason. I'm not yelling at you over it. I'm just educating
Your
you
background
that you
noise,
should
dude. Dude, your background noise.
that you should be okay with people's execution of their will. But outside of that, do you think all preferences are equally justified?
Hey,
Not
go ahead.
particularly.
There you go.
All right. So if I was for example, if somebody had a race preference that may not be justified, right? Or if somebody had a specific preference for some sort of marginalized in-group out-group dynamic, that's not necessarily justified, or even in some cases it's antithetical to what we want in society. So in the case of I want a specific body count, I think the question that Doug asked at the beginning, which is what is the difference between 4 and 5? And more broadly, what is the difference between any specific body count and its next body count? What is it telling you? I don't think it tells you anything, but if you could enlighten us as to what you think it says, that would be great.
All right.
Yeah, we're almost at a new guest anyways, guys. But
I
yeah,
don't-
go ahead and elaborate, please.
Yeah, so there is no, I guess there really isn't much of a difference between 4 and 5 or 5 and 6. But there is, for example, a difference between 1 and 6, right? A bigger difference between 1 and 6, right? And
Right, but what's that meaningful
marginal
difference?
differences, sure.
But yeah, what's the
Well, the
meaningful
meaningful
difference as
difference
to
is
why it
like
matters?
it's the same point that I repeating. It's like it's a promiscuous person, right? Or you can generally guess that it's a promiscuous person from that, and
That's not
you're
telling us why it
probably
matters,
the
though. But that's not telling us why there's a
yeah, that
meaningful
does
difference
tie
between
into.
5 and 6, 6 and 7. Like, how is that one making a difference?
But I said
between
there
not
isn't.
promiscuous, too promiscuous? Then, if there's not a meaningful difference,
Sorry?
then what? If there's not a meaningful difference, then why does this matter to begin with?
It's not about 1 or 2. The difference between 1 or 2 being great. Like, oh, you have 4 bodies. You're not a hoe. Oh, you have 5 bodies. You're a hoe. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a person who generally has a higher body count is a more promiscuous person than a person who generally has a lower body count.
Okay,
So
but
if you
again,
want
if you're
a
using
lasting relationship,
if
go
you're
for
using
the. So if
if
you
you're
want a
using
lasting,
promiscuous in the sense of sleeping around a lot, I don't know why you guys keep using circular reasoning here. I get it. Promiscuous means, like in your context, that you sleep around. Yes, if you have a high
I'm
body
using
count,
circular
yes, that
reasoning.
means you sleep around. It's like it's just a very circular reasoning.
I want to ask a question.
Yeah,
Why do human beings
sure.
engage in sexual activity for the most part?
For the most part, I mean,
Yeah.
you mean like what is its intended purpose, or what do we like use
No,
it
I
for?
don't mean, well, because I don't
Because
believe
it's
it. Well,
technically for reproduction, but
well,
we do it for pleasure mostly.
right. We do it for pleasure most of the
Yeah.
time. Very, like, in comparison to
There's
how often we
other,
do
yeah,
it.
there's also
Hang
other
on.
reasons, but
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Okay. Most of the time, human beings
Yeah.
do it for the purpose of pleasure rather than for the purpose of procreation. And when you have to do it for the purpose of procreation, it gets very dull. Uh, if anybody's engaged in it for the
Sure.
purposes of procreation, they will know that. It gets very dull and it gets very perfunctory. But if we engage in it for the purposes of pleasure, there is nothing else that I engage with for the purposes of pleasure. Like I don't go and play tennis and go and think, well, everyone's going to judge me for how many tennis games I've had, even though I really enjoy this thing. I can't play tennis more than once a month, because if I do play tennis, if I have a different tennis partner more than once a month, everybody's going to call me a hoe. And yet we're talking
I think
about
that's a false
something.
analogy because, like,
Why?
because you have one. Because imagine you had a tennis partner who, let's say y'all are playing tournaments, right? And you have a tennis partner that maybe performs better when he has a regular, like the
I
same
couldn't play a
partner
tournament.
recurringly.
I'd be a proper hoe bag if I played a tournament. What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah, but for example, I'm saying, for example, like if you had a partner that
Oh, we had
preferred
60K.
having a
Sorry.
partner that
Nah, I'm good. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize we had 60K. All right, let's get to a new guest. We're looking for opposition, please. Okay.
Can you imagine the judgment one would receive if they engaged in a tournament, Doug?
Lizzie, how are
Hi.
you?
So, yeah. Hi.
Hi,
I'm
are you
okay.
opposition?
So I've had a question.
What do you? Do you believe body count matters, though? Lizzie? Okay, goodbay. All right, next one. Guys, we're looking for opposite, please. Leo, hello.
Hello.
Hi, do you think body count matters?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. And I need to know your age. How old are you?
I'm 20.
All right, what does body count matter?
Yeah, so like take a body count like 30. So the reason why a body count like 30 would matter is because there are two ways in which someone could have gotten there, right? So either it's the case that there is promiscuity involved, or it's the case that they genuinely had 30 failed relationships. Now, obviously, if someone has 30 failed relationships, that says a lot about their character in a negative way. And then if it's the case someone's promiscuous, that also says a lot negative about their character because promiscuity is going to be immoral. Do you want the argument for promiscuity being immoral?
Well, why is that immoral?
Okay, so the basic idea is that sex is an intrinsic wrong-making feature of an action. Do you want the argument for that?
What was your reasoning?
So I hold the view that sex is an intrinsically wrong-making feature of an action.
Why?
Yeah, so I do this type of induction where I see that when we observe traits that are intrinsically wrong, when you add them to actions, it makes those actions worse. So an example of this would be harm. Harm is intrinsically wrong. If I punch someone and it doesn't cause them harm versus if I punch someone and it does cause them harm, we would all agree that punching them and causing them harm would be worse. Okay, and then from that, I derive the conclusion that harm is intrinsically wrong. Okay, what's worse, assault or sexual assault? Sexual assault's worse, right?
Well, hold on. I think
no.
I think
Someone said no.
I think it depends. I don't think one could. I don't think one could definitively say one or the other.
Sure.
But yeah,
So suppose
Jeff, if you want to take this, you're welcome to.
Yeah. So just suppose that someone's in a
Let's
coma.
get the
Right?
hold on. Let's get the harm thing again.
Yeah. So harm is intrinsically wrong, and when we see traits that are intrinsically wrong,
What do we mean by
also
intrinsically here?
I mean that the reason why it's wrong isn't explained in other terms, right? So like the reason why harm is wrong is explained in terms of harm language. Like harm isn't wrong because it's unconsensual. Harm is wrong because it's wrong. Consent violations aren't wrong because they're harmful. Wait, so why do you think harm is wrong?
I think harm is wrong because people think it's wrong.
Okay, so do you think that the reason why SA is wrong is because people think that SA is wrong? Is that your view? Okay, so just to be clear, if everyone thought that SA was okay, does that mean that it's okay to SA a little girl? Yes or no?
According to those people, yes.
No. I didn't say according to those people. Now notice how you're kind of dodging the question here. So let's just re-ask the question. So
Pause.
would it be okay to SA little children? Yes or no?
Stop talking.
Leo, just
stop talking. I do not believe in intrinsic values. So it wouldn't be right or wrong intrinsically. It would be right or wrong.
Wow.
Why are you interrupting? And the Cope laugh doesn't help. So it would be right or wrong given the person's indexing, right? So I don't know what we're doing now.
Yeah, so I could just give the argument for moral realism, I guess. Jeff, do you believe in moral progress? Do you believe in moral disagreement? Do you believe in moral fallibility? Do you believe in any of these things?
I don't typically even use moral language. I don't find it particularly coherent, but I'm willing to play in the playground if you want. Can you just give me the argument for moral realism?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this is a pretty intuitive argument. Okay, guys. So I would say that it's wrong to, torture people, right? And let's suppose that someone wanted to torture someone. That doesn't make it okay for them to torture someone, right? So that's just to say that it's wrong to torture someone, irrespective of someone's wants, right? Okay, so if it's wrong to torture someone, irrespective of their attitudes and
insanely question begging.
Wait, you disagree with that? You think it'd be okay to torture someone if you wanted to? You hold that view?
Okay in what sense?
Morally okay?
You mean like intrinsically, stance independently okay?
No. Is it morally okay to torture someone irrespective of your
We need to be very clear with our language here, Leo.
Yeah.
If I'm being generous, I'm a moral anti-realist, right? So,
an anti-realist would
I
say
don't know
no.
why it is that you're talking right now. indexed to the person who's making the assessment, that person would think it's okay. Indexed to another person, that other person would think it's not okay. I don't give a shit either way, right?
Okay, well,
But
here's the
if you're
criticism.
asking me if I think it's independent of those people's assessments, right or wrong, then obviously I don't think it's right or wrong independent of those people's assessments because I'm a moral anti-realist.
Okay, so you would say that if everyone was okay with essaying children, that it would not be true that it's wrong to essay children in that world. Is that correct?
In what sense?
Yeah, in the sense that you were using the term. It would not
Wrong
be wrong.
as in independent of people's thoughts?
Is that the sense of wrong that you were using?
I'm asking about you here. You're
So
making an
under
argument.
your
Are you
okay.
wait? Are you making an argument for moral realism or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that argument forthcoming or not?
Mm-hmm.
So let's clean this up. What is P1 of the argument?
Premise one of the argument is just that it's wrong to it's wrong to essay children. Let's say.
Is that premise one?
Yeah,
Okay. In what sense of wrong are you using there?
I'm using it in a p-theoretical sense to avoid question begging on any views.
Okay. So
Do you want premise two of the argument now?
hold on. Insofar as you're saying that, I don't know what you're saying in that sentence.
Yeah, so
Hey
you
guys,
can just read
hold
it
on,
under an
guys. We can
anti-realist
hold on,
perspective,
guys. We can
return
get
it
to
to.
get that 80,000 likes, by the way. All right, so keep tapping, keep sharing.
So
If
you
want
can
anyone to
read
step
this. You can read this under anti-realism, and then you can accept the first premise.
Could I read it under non-cog?
Yeah.
So then it's not a premise at all. I could just throw it away. It's not propositional. Great. What sense do you mean
Wait,
such
what?
that if it's non-cog, it's not... Wait, non-cognitivism would mean it's not propositional, correct?
But then you have to hold the view that it's not true that it's wrong to rape children. Do you think that? You don't think that's true?
Just use TikTok friendly terms, please.
Do you think
TikTok
that's true?
friendly
Yes or no?
terms, please.
Do you think that's true? Yes or no? Do you think that's true? Yes
You're
or no?
repeating
Stop
yourself.
dodging. Stop dodging.
Leo, just fucking.
I'm coming for that ass, boy. Come on, answer the question.
Hey, yo, happy Pride.
That's a weird thing
Listen,
to say.
Listen. I don't know what you're... When I say I don't know what you're saying with that sentence, right? And then I say it's not propositional. Do you know how much of a blunder it is for you to ask me to attach some truth value to the sentence that's not propositional? It's a cataclysmic blunder. So
It's not a blunder.
can you get... Yes, it is. Oh, wait, so you're saying a non-propositional statement can be true or not true?
No, I don't think it's a blunder
Okay,
for me
great.
to
Hold on. Let's just
posture
get clear.
to the audience
Wait,
that
now
you
you're
don't think it's
dodging.
true that
Now you're
CT
dodging.
is wrong.
Now you're dodging the question. Do you think
It's not
a
a blunder.
non-propositional statement can be true or not true? Yes or no?
No, I don't think that, but I
Okay,
think
so
it's propositional.
it would be a category error if I say I don't know if that statement is even propositional, and then by your lights you said I could read it in such a way that it's not propositional, for then you to ask me if I think it's true or false. That would be a category error,
It's
correct?
rhetorical. It's a rhetorical question. No
I'm just
questions
asking if
are-
that's a category error, yes or no?
Category errors are
so,
propositional.
So really quickly,
Category errors are
just really
propositional.
quickly, is an attribute of a non-propositional statement truthness or falsity?
No.
Okay.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a statement, by the way.
Hold on.
It
We're
wouldn't be
going
a
to be very
statement. That's
clear.
another low-level blunder.
Leo, you right now are floundering, and you know you're floundering.
Wouldn't be a statement.
So here's the question.
It wouldn't be
Here's
a
the
statement.
next question. Stop floundering.
Why can't I speak? Why do you get to speak?
Because you're interrupting me, and now you're
What?
acting
I was
as
speaking.
if
Oh my
now
god.
you're acting as if I've hit you with holy water. You've given me a premise, and I'm examining that premise. The premise has to be propositional. You've said that I can read it as a non-propositional statement, as given by the thesis of non-cognitivism. So now I'm
didn't say
asking
that.
you. So I can't read. So the statement "it is wrong to essay children," I can't read that in a non-cognitivist lens.
You can't make sense of that now because it wouldn't be true.
Wait.
Are you non-cognitivist?
Now you're question begging. The thing that's in question is whether or not that statement is propositional, right?
And I would say it is propositional because it's true that child essay is wrong. Do you disagree with that?
I don't know if I disagree.
You
because
don't know
have-
whether essay is wrong. You don't know whether it's true that essay is wrong. This is a
Now
Leo,
he's-
you're not
now
going to
he's
get this
crashing
gotcha.
out. He's crashing
Leo,
out.
we all know you're trying to get a
Now he's
gotcha.
crashing out.
Leo, shut the fuck
Now-
up.
now-
You're not going to
look,
get this
I'm
gotcha
try-
that you're trying
This
to
guy's
get.
I'm
such
really
a low
trying
tier.
to-
You're getting destroyed in
Leo.
this conversation.
Okay.
I'm just going to
Leo,
run
I'm
campaigns
really-
and guilts next.
Okay.
I'm really trying to be good faith with you. and you're being a lemur. I do not like engaging with lemurs. I haven't even raised my voice. I haven't called you any names. I've heard you be very good faith on other panels. So against my better judgment, I'm engaging with you right now. If you're not going to give me the sense of wrong that you're using in your premise for your argument, we have no more to discuss and you have conceded. So are you going to give me the sense of wrong that you're using in the premise that you've provided for your argument?
Yeah, any sense of wrongness that's pre-theoretical, but obviously has propositional content. Because of course you want to say it's true that essay is wrong, unless of course you don't think it's true or you're agnostic on that. If you're agnostic on whether essaying children is wrong, I don't know if you should even be up here on the first place.
Hey, now I am going to use a pejorative, marshmallow brain. We are asking if the statement is propositional, right?
If it's not propositional,
I'm
then
not
it's not true.
I'm not asking you to posture. I'm not asking you to engage in meta. I'm asking you to give me nothing but content. And the one chance that you had, the reason I did this is because I've avoided panels with Leo on them because every time I join, he goes, Jeff is so bad faith. The reason I did this shit is because this motherfucker goes, Jeff is bad faith, and I'm trying to exercise some good faith to see if he's changed. And he is nothing but a loose flap of skin in the wind.
All right, guys, we got to the next guest. That was it with him. Sorry, yeah, I just got a message that there was some ableism in the comments. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, he just got dropped and all that. So, but yeah, mods, obviously, if you see stuff like that, you can mute those people or whatever. So, sorry about that for anybody who who's bothered by that. Alan, how you doing?
Good. Jeff just admitted he's a pedo. Great job. Great job.
Cool. You're also not going to get a gotcha.
And
you want to have a conversation about the topic? You want to have a conversation about the topic?
Stop talking. I'm talking. Don't interrupt me.
No, you can shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Guys, we're looking for opposition, please. How you doing? Bruh, are you there? Bruh going once. Bruh going twice. Okay, next guest. Okay. All right, we don't have anybody else in a request box, so if you are a opposition, hit the request button, and yeah, let's get to the next one. Space, what's up?
Hey, man.
Hey, how old are you?
I'm 36.
36. Okay. Are you opposition?
Yeah.
Okay. So you think body count matters? Why?
Yeah. I guess it depends in what sense you're saying matters. Because if it's true that people have preferences, and if some people's preferences is going to be that of a lower body count, well, then it just matters. It just matters. It's just true that it matters.
What does it meaningfully say about somebody as to who they are as a person, their body count?
Wait, say that again? Sorry.
What does it say about somebody as to who they are as a person, their body count?
Oh, I mean, who they are as a person? I mean,
yeah.
It just depends. Yeah, I mean, I think if you have like a really high body count, it just means that you just enjoy the act of sex more than someone who has a low body count, probably. You could probably make that assumption pretty easily.
But you don't think it says anything like about somebody as to who they are, like anything negative about who they are?
I mean, I don't think that it says something necessarily negative about them, but that's why I'm asking when you say it matters or it doesn't matter. I'm asking in what sense are you saying it doesn't matter? Because if it's true that people have preferences and some people prefer low body counts, then it matters necessarily.
Yeah, I'm just saying it doesn't matter. It just doesn't say anything meaningful about who they are as a person at all, beyond just how many people they have slept with. That's it.
I mean, do you think it's meaningful? Okay, would you say that in some ways it's possible that it could tip you off to some sort of characteristic about whether or not this person is more or less willing to be with one person like for the rest of their lives?
No, it doesn't tell you anything about that.
You don't think that, okay, like let's say You don't think that in any other situation, if I were to do like an action a bunch of times, you wouldn't say that it's probably likely that I enjoy doing this action?
But
Like,
but the action, hang on, but the action that you enjoy doing is intercourse. That doesn't necessarily lead to the fact that you enjoy doing it with different people. You might want to do it with the same person over and over again, but you haven't found a person that you like enough.
Yeah, but the action.
No,
Sorry, go ahead.
you're conflating two different things.
Yeah, but the action is like the action that I'm speaking of is, since we're talking about body count, this is just gonna be indexed to like how many different people you're sleeping with. And it seems like if a person's sleeping with a lot of different people, that just means that they enjoy doing that specific action more often than not.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. Okay, this argument winds me up. Okay, what if you're turn your camera off? We don't need to have your camera on, thank you. There are multiple reasons why a person may not want to engage in a relationship at a particular time, or because of work or study or what the freak is that doing, or something that's going on in their life that makes them unable to commit to a relationship. But that doesn't mean that person doesn't at some point in their life want to commit to a relationship. That's a weird argument.
I'm not making that leap. Like, why do you think I'm making that leap?
Because you just made that leap.
No, I didn't. All I said was that it seems like if a person is like doing one specific action more often than not, then it probably means that they're going to be more likely to do that action than other people. That's all it's saying.
Well, the only action that they're doing over and over again is intercourse. The fact that it's with different people might be out of their control.
Huh? What do you like? Just take any other action, right? Let's say like
no, you're insinuating because they have sex with a bunch of people that it's an indicator that they may want to continue doing it with a bunch of people. What she's saying is that you can do it with the same person or a bunch of different people. It doesn't dictate whether.
I'm saying that can be true. I'm saying that can also be true, right? But I'm also saying that. Nico, what's up? I'm also saying that.
Hang on. I just want to point out the out of their control thing. I'm not talking, first of all, it's not always within somebody's control whether they have intercourse with someone or not, sadly. Sometimes it is completely out of their control. But if they're choosing to engage in intercourse with another person, if that's their choice, then the fact is there could be a ton of things about their circumstances that means that it's more convenient at that point to engage with different people. Perhaps they can't engage in a relationship, or they can't find somebody who they want to keep as a buddy and have or whatever. There are a ton of situations in which somebody might have had lots of individual circumstances where they had sex with somebody, but that doesn't mean that their preference is to have sex with lots of different people. It could be that their preference is just to have lots of sex.
Yeah, again, I'm not saying okay, look, I'm not saying that it's necessarily true that because someone has sex with a bunch of different people, that it means necessarily that they're gonna continue doing that, okay? All I'm saying is that it's more likely. You disagree with that?
Yes.
Okay, do you disagree with that in any other context?
Like what context?
Yeah, like, for example, if someone, if you know that someone likes to eat pizza every single day, are you saying that they're more likely for that pizza is like their favorite food than somebody who never eats pizza?
Can I give you a symmetry breaker there?
Sure.
Consent. Back on mute.
What's the explain the symmetry breaker?
I think the one word symmetry breaker should be enough if you understand what consent is.
Yeah, I'm not really understanding where the symmetry breaker is.
Okay, does pizza have to consent for me to eat it?
Oh, you're saying that because the pizza can't consent, then that's the symmetry breaker there?
Yes.
But what are you breaking there? The only principle I laid on the table was that if someone does
Let's
an
say
action,
somebody wanted to have sex with 1 trillion people and none of them wanted to have sex with that person. Do you think it's possible that you could conclude that that person wants to have sex with 1 trillion people?
if they like propositioned 1 trillion people to have sex with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's likely that person wants to have sex.
What is that person's
I think it's
body
more
count?
likely. I think it's more likely than
What is the
than
body
not.
count of a person who is not a rapist, has propositioned 1 trillion people for sex and zero
Yeah,
people?
it's gonna
have
be zero.
consented?
It's gonna be zero. The body count's gonna be zero.
But
Yes,
that
I
person
understand
does
that.
want to be promiscuous, right?
Yeah. Yes. I'm not saying again.
That's just.
I'm not saying
outlining-
anything. Any of
that's
this is
just
necessary.
outlining- That's just outline. I didn't say about necessary. This is probability.
Okay, so then-
so
so I'm
it
not
is likely.
understanding what this is doing, then.
Well, you gave an analogy, and I gave a symmetry breaker to the analogy. I don't know why we're arguing. We're saying the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know why we're arguing either, because that's not
So-
really doing anything to my
so-
argument.
Wait, it is, because the analogy you gave to bolster your argument has a symmetry breaker, meaning it's disanalogous to the example to the source material, to the sex topic.
Oh, okay. So do you think that someone has to consent to shake hands?
I would hope so, but again,
Okay.
disanalogous
Okay, great,
because
great.
I think
Great, so let's-
there are degrees
disanalogous
at
now.
which. No, it is
He knew,
disanalogous.
he knew where that was going. Okay,
we're you know what? Let me do this. I'm trying to be nice, right? Because you've been very nice with Erica. It seems like as soon as y'all hear my voice, you want the smoke. So where is it going?
Yeah, where it's going is that all I have to do to make it analogous is to just say that if you just take a person who shakes hands with every single person that they meet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then another person that never shakes hands with people, right? You would say it's more likely for person A who shakes hands with everybody they meet than it is for person B who never shakes hands to people with people.
No.
That person A likes to shake hands with people more often than not.
No.
What?
No.
All you're saying
Correct.
is you've literally proved my
Okay.
point.
Sure, man.
The only
Sure.
point it makes that someone has had a lot of sex, be it with one person or with many people, the only point it makes is that they have a high sex drive and they want to have a lot of sex. That's the only point it makes.
Let me tell you how stupid your example was. And instead of cope laughing, what you should do if you're good faith is just ask what my reasoning is. Do you know what person typically shakes hands with more people than anybody?
Yeah, what person, man?
A fucking politician. Have you ever met a politician?
No way. Yeah. I've met politicians. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think, based on your interactions with politicians, that you can make the inference that they want to shake hands with a bunch of people?
I
Or
never
do
said that they
find it-
wanted to. I never
What?
said that they wanted to. That's another tracking issue on
What?
your end. I said that they do the action more often than not.
That's not what you said.
Do you think
You
doing an
said-
action?
hang on.
Do you think
That's-
doing an action follows
Holy
from wanting?
shit.
Space, you said that you can draw from that action that they want to do it.
No, that they will do it more often than not.
That's even worse.
That's not worse.
No, because let's say somebody is a politician and they shake hands with everybody they meet, and then they get voted out of office and they decide to no longer be a politician. Are you going to draw from that the inference that they are going to continue shaking hands with everybody they meet?
If I've seen this person shake hands with 1,000 people, and I've seen person B shake hands with 0,
Okay.
yes, it's very, very easy
let me give
for
you
me to
person
make
A.
The
Person A is a
probabilistic inference
Person A is a
that
politician.
they're going to be the kind of person that shakes
I
hands.
don't.
And the other
Now
person
you
isn't.
know where it's going. So now you're scared. That's fine. Person A
I don't
is
know
a
where it's going.
politician.
I'm actually-
Now
I'm
you're
quite
interrupting.
confused where it's
Now
going.
you're interrupting. Great. That's good. We know what hope looks like. So person A is
this is so
actively a
cringy.
politician. You've interrupted twice. Now I'm going to count concessions every time you interrupt. So person A isn't in a cope laugh. I love it. Cope laughs give me life. Person A is actively. So now we've had concession number 1. We've now conceded one time. W me in the chat. W Jeff. So person A is a politician and they're shaking hands with everybody they meet. Person B is not a politician. and they're not shaking hands with anybody, right? Now, person A has been voted out of office and they're like, fuck this, I retire. And person B has decided to run for office. So you're saying from that, you can infer that the person who's retired from politics is going to continue to shake hands with people. And the person who decided to run for office is not going to shake hands with anybody, based on the fact that person A was shaking hands with 1,000 people, you observed it, and person B was not shaking hands with anybody. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that based off of the current information that I have, that's a pretty easy assumption to make. Yeah.
So you're saying that the person who decided to run for office is not going to engage in the practice that politicians engage in.
Yeah, I don't know. I
shaking
haven't
hands with
observed
people.
them. I haven't observed them do it yet.
You can't take the context of them becoming a politician?
Wait, are you saying that it's necessarily true that a politician is going to shake hands with a bunch of people?
So now you're doing the tracking issue. Remember when you said
No,
it's
I'm
not a
not.
necessary...
I'm not.
Stop
I'm not.
talking.
I'm actually.
Stop talking.
I'm
Stop
not doing the
talking.
tracking issue.
That's concession
You're
number
just
2.
confused.
All right, we've conceded twice. W.
You're
Jeff
just
in the chat.
confused.
So now, remember
You're
when you said this
confused,
isn't a
man.
necessarily argument and it's a probabilistic one? So now that I've given you a probabilistic case, suddenly probability is foreign to you? What happened?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So you're not.
What I'm
So
saying is
when
that
somebody decides
the principle.
to run for
You're
office,
actually
just to
not
be
tracking.
clear, let's just be super clear here. I don't want
just not
any.
tracking.
You're right. I'm not tracking. Let's help me.
Yeah,
track.
I know.
Let's make it super clear. I am cognitively
Thank you for
impaired
admitting
today.
it.
So yes, you're right. WU for catching me in this super clever
Yes.
trap that says that when somebody
Yes,
decides to run for office, you can't make the probabilistic assessment that they're going to start shaking hands with people, right?
Yes,
do you
90K.
think
90K
that
new guest.
what was the rest of the principle that I laid on the table there? Do you remember what the rest of it was?
I'm gonna state the principle simply. If you observe somebody executing a behavior, you can make the inference that they're going to. And originally, you said that they want to continue that behavior.
No,
and then
I said
when
that they
caught,
will
I want you to
continue.
stop. I want you to stop interrupting. That is
I
now,
said that
by the
they will
way,
continue.
that is now
I'm just
concession
correcting
number
you.
3. W. Jeff
Yeah.
in the chat yet again. This
Yeah,
troglodyte has now conceded 3 times to me,
doesn't
and he's
make-
about to concede a 4th time by fighting with the mute
It's
button.
really cool.
The crash out is so
Like, really
awesome.
cool.
I'm telling you, I was 46 at the beginning of this conversation. Now I'm 38. Let's go for 21. I'd like to have my first drink again.
You're just confused, man.
Here's the thing. Did you or did you not say that the principle is if you observe a behavior that is repeated, you can make the probabilistic assessment that the person is going to continue that behavior?
That they,
Guys, we're almost at 90K. Keep tapping.
you can make the
Are we going to
probabilistic
change the
assessment.
principle? Are we going to change the principle
Let
again?
me just finish. I'm not changing the principle. I'm going to state it exactly how I stated it before. So I said that you can make the probabilistic inference that they will do the action more than the person who's done it, who hasn't done it ever.
Okay, so now I've laid out the hypothetical for you. And you think that a person who has quit being a politician is more likely to continue to shake hands than a person who has commenced a career as a politician.
Yeah, I haven't observed person B shaking.
New guest.
Do you see where we are when we try to fill, bro? And I don't even I didn't even want to get to where it was contentious. They just want to have that situation. Like they bring it and they want to say stupid shit. But do you see where we have to get to? Where now, if I give you you say, hey, this person's running for office, but they're going to be Adrian Monk, and this other person is going to be Sean Spencer because they quit. But every politician loves shaking hands with people. They're all super honest. They love kissing babies too. They don't do it because they want to get elected. So when he quits being a politician, he's still going to be the same. What are you kidding me?
What's up, Kat? How are you?
What's going on, man? I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I just need to know your age first. How old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay. And are you in disagreement? Do you think body count matters?
Well, I don't know if it's disagreement or not, but I do think it matters depending on who you ask.
Well, for you. So I'm asking for you. For you, does it matter?
For me, it would matter. Yeah, for me, it would
Okay.
matter. I'm married, but for me, it would matter if I was dating.
What? Okay. Why is that?
Because I personally don't want to have an experienced partner. If I'm dating a girl, I don't want her to be very experienced.
You don't want her to be experienced?
No, not very much. Not sexually. Not with a guy.
So you want her to be inexperienced?
Yeah, I would prefer her to be inexperienced. But wait,
Why?
before we dive into it, I tapped on because I was listening to the analogy about the politician.
Why do you want her to be inexperienced, though? I'm curious as to your reasoning for that.
I think by nature, women are comparative, or I guess a lot of the red pill talk is hypergamous, whatever word you want to use. So everything's going to be filtered through the lens of what other guys have done.
Okay, so you're saying that she may compare you to other guys that she's been with?
Yeah.
Okay, and why is that necessarily a bad thing?
It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's something that I would not prefer. Like we're talking about
Why is that?
Ideally.
Yeah, so why do you not prefer that?
Because I want to be, or what she presumes to be the greatest. I want, I would want my girl to think.
So be the greatest then. Yeah, sure. So be the greatest. There you go.
Okay.
Be the greatest, and then you'll be good.
I'm a hip y'all to some game. I don't normally do this because I don't think it's necessary. I thought everybody knew it, but I've come to terms with the fact that I don't know my gender as well as I used to think. I'm going to tell you something, Kat. Listen, if you are with a woman, all you have to do is those two things on the side of your head, activate those sons bitches, right? One thing a woman will tell you is what she wants. And if you listen to that, you are going to be the best. Because something I've learned is that the rest of us, we don't activate these things. There's dudes that go in and they're like, I know what you want. And they go, bop, 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 when it's really fleep, 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 fleep. And a woman will tell you, look, women know.
Hold on. Can I respond to that first thing you were saying?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So, well, I guess it's not really a response. Is what I'm saying is, if imagine starting a business, right? Do you want more competition or less competition?
More competition, but that's irrelevant. I'm not talking about. No, I want more competition, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't have every idea in my head. I think a monopoly is stagnation, and eventually I'm going to have crap, right? So with competition, I will have other people that I can be like, oh, you got an idea? Like collaboration is a good thing. But this isn't that. You're not opening a business when you're with a woman. Stop objectifying women. Start looking at your partner. You literally are.
Kat, let him finish, and then you can go.
Watch this, Kat. Hey, women, this question is just for the women in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if when you heard that analogy, you felt objectified.
Yeah.
Watch, Kat.
How could they feel? I mean, they could feel what they want.
Don't worry about how. Don't worry about how. Remember, you agreed with me. No, we're letting the women.
Kat, let him finish, and then you can go. Kat, let him finish.
We're letting the women speak. And remember, the thing that you agreed to, I don't give a fuck about none of that, Kat. Like right now, I'm starting to get irritated. The thing that we agreed to was that we're going to listen to women. Do you see the women telling you they feel objectified? Right?
Okay, that's
so
fine.
what you're going to do,
can I respond or
if your response is anything other than I'm going to listen to women and that's going to give me the high score, I don't care.
Oh, so you don't want to have a conversation? What's the point then?
Wait, do I want to have a conversation with another man about what women want? No, I'm not interested.
I'm not here
in
to
that.
talk about what women want, though.
That's why. Listen, I got you, Kat. But that's why you're bad at it.
Bad at what?
That's why, as I constantly say, your neighbors will never know your name. They'll just be like the guy next door. He borrowed the lawnmower. What the fuck is his name? Like,
what's this guy talking about?
How do you not know what he's talking about? You can't. You really don't know what he's talking about.
You don't know what it means for the neighbors to know your name?
Literally all of my neighbors, all 5 houses around me, I'm great with all my neighbors. So like, what does that even mean?
How did they learn your name? Did you introduce yourself or did they hear it at 2 a.m.?
No. I've introduced myself.
Exactly. See, so you that's what I'm saying. They did not hear your name shouted out at 2 a.m. because you don't listen to women.
Choice, you can come on up. I see in the request box.
All right, y'all have a good one. I have no idea.
No, we're not trying to kick you. We're trying to have a conversation. Just wait until it's your turn.
I get that, but what I'm saying is, we're not really having the conversation because this guy's going off on these tangents about what women want and all these different things.
Let me clarify it for you, Kat. You said that the reason that's fine. That's fine. Listen, Kat. Let me clarify. Let me clarify it
just
for you.
hold. Kat, just hold up. Kat, just hold.
I'm gonna clarify it for you.
Man, I'm holding up. Can he hold up while I finish what I'm saying?
No, I can't because I'm a firstborn and I'm very spoiled. Listen, Kat, you said that the reason that you don't want your woman to be like experienced is so that she doesn't compare you and she thinks you're the greatest. And I've given you, I know you're still here, I've given you an exact methodology for you to be the greatest.
What's up, Choice? How are you?
Thank you for having me. Good.
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep tapping and sharing, guys. We're looking for opposition after Choice goes.
Just wanted to say for Kat, clearly he doesn't know where the clit is, doesn't care where it is, has never listened to any women trying to show him where it is. And he clearly doesn't care either because, as he said, he's just going to try to find a girl. And I mean, he's trying to find a girl because he doesn't want her to know how bad he is. And unfortunately, that insecurity is really common among men. And it doesn't have to be. There's nothing sexier than a man telling a woman, hey, I'm not sure if I know what I'm doing. Any chance you can show me what you like? I really want to make you feel good. What can I do for you? Trust me, you're going to get a lot of attention. You're going to, women are going to feel heard. They're going to feel like you're actually interested in having sex with them, having schmex with them and not give it to them kind of thing. But clearly, Kat is just one of those guys who doesn't care about that. All he cares about is having property that he can control and show off to his men that he's actually trying to impress on.
This is true. You can hang out up here if you want, Choice. You don't have to, though. Keep tapping and sharing, though, guys. Make sure you send in to Heart Me, and we're just looking for opposition. MJ, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. How old are you for TikTok terms of service?
35.
Okay, and you think body count matters?
I do, and I'll go into that for just one moment. I just want to talk about something that was in the previous conversation, maybe two conversations ago.
Yeah, I know, but just tell us why. Yeah, just get to why, because, just tell us why body count matters.
Sure. I don't want to make it unidimensional and say that just body count matters. I would say a woman's physical history matters. Do you think that's... Yeah. So I think it doesn't always matter. I think the devil is in the details. And I think depending on what that history is, it can speak volumes about her mental health.
Okay. How so?
For example, I think most psychologists would agree. Let me put it this way. It may not be the number of partners, but maybe it is the number of partners in the duration of time and how old she is. For example, a 19-year-old having 15 partners in 1 month, I would see as concerning as opposed to a 30-year-old having 5 partners over 2 years. Or, it's not the raw number. There's context. Do you disagree with that?
Well, I mean, it depends on what you mean by it matters, though. But yeah, Choice, I saw your hand up. If you want to know. Yeah, Jeff, you can go right after Choice.
No, go ahead, Choice. I've talked a lot.
So to start with that, it is really harmful to try to equate having schmex and enjoying schmex as trauma or a trauma response or some kind of thing like that. Women are just as capable of enjoying O's as guys are. That's a weird thing to immediately go to. The fact that you assume that a young woman having multiple schmexual partners means that something had to have happened or that there's some kind of context behind it to
not at all
justify it, quote unquote, means that you show some issue with that. She is having consensual schmex and enjoying her body. What is wrong with that?
You just took a great number of leaps that I didn't take. I think, as I said, the devil is in the details here. If she says it was completely consensual and if she was choosing it, those are different things. And it's not a result of trauma. What it shows is it can show a propensity for risk-taking behavior, which can indicate something.
Sexual history is not risky behavior.
It can be.
That's about safe schmex, not body count. That is a safe schmex issue. And if you want to talk about that, that's a completely valid issue. But that has nothing to do with body count. MJ, don't just interrupt me.
MJ, let her finish.
Sure.
And then, Jeff, I saw you trying to chime in. So
just a quick question. MJ, are you a psychologist?
I'm a doctor.
I didn't ask you that. I'm going to ask the question
No,
that I asked again. I'm going to ask. Hold on, real quick. I just want to get clear my question because I'm very specific with my language. Are you a psychologist?
No.
Okay. What are you a doctor of?
Medicine. Let's stop. I don't feel it's necessary to go too deep into
That's
it.
fine. No, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Let's say I had a doctorate in archaeology.
Sure.
And I was up here talking about how to be a general practitioner of medicine. And somebody said, "Hey, are you a doctor of medicine?" And I said, "I'm a doctor." Would you look at that as an honest answer?
No, I get what you're getting at, so I would say no.
Okay, cool. So you get what I'm getting at. Look,
sure.
I was really nice to the 18-year-old. I'm not going to be as nice to you because you should know better. What was the last paper that you read on APA.org?
I read papers every day.
I'm just going to ask you the question that I asked again. See, you know what I'm asking you. What was the last paper that you read?
I don't see how this is germane to the argument. I think you're attacking my credentials.
I'm not
the credentials
attacking
don't matter.
The
credentials do not matter.
I do
this
not
has nothing
know.
to do.
Listen. APA.org does not require a login. I'm on APA.org
This
right
has
the
nothing
fuck.
to do with anything.
I don't
good
know
sir.
why you're interrupting right
MJ,
now.
Sloan, can I?
Hey, doctor.
First of all, your background noise is very loud. Choice, I see your hand up. You can go after.
All right. So really quickly, for anybody who wants to know, you can go on Amazon and buy yourself a DSM-5E right now if you wanted to. You don't need credentials for that. APA.org is an open website. I'm not asking this man about his credentials at all. I was asking him if he was a psychologist because that would be step one. I'm being generous and asking, have you read anything on APA.org? And he knows that you don't need credentials to get on APA.org because what he wants to do is, having taken the noble step of first do no harm and becoming a doctor of medicine, which I think is admirable. It's not your fault that the healthcare industry is so shitty. Like, I think it's great that you want to heal people. You now want to dip in somebody else's pool who took a different 8 years to get their credentials. And you are not willing to answer the question of what was the last paper you read on APA.org, which would be where the APA does their psychological evaluation, they give you their assessments, they give you their conclusions.
You just keep talking. When do I get
am
to
talking.
speak?
Let's do this.
For 4 minutes. For 4 minutes.
It's been 45 seconds. Can you
hasn't.
steel man what I said, doctor?
No, because
okay,
let me
so you're not
respond to
listening.
something.
Okay,
let me respond to something.
Let me now talk. I don't need you for the rest of this.
What's the
let
point
me go
of
on
this?
to the chat. Listen, this doctor.
No, you don't
if he
need
is
to
a
appeal
doctor,
to the chat.
I'm not appealing to the chat. I'm talking to the chat, doctor. So now, this person, we all know what's going on, right?
No,
it's
you
4
don't,
minutes
I'm not
long,
speaking.
but it's crazy. I'm not talking to you. You're not in the chat, MJ.
The host
we
needs
all
to
know
control
what's going
this.
on.
This
and
is favoritism.
MJ,
this is crazy.
just be patient.
All right. So, fine. You know what? Instead of me admonishing you, let's just get clear on the answer to my question now.
Yeah, and then I want Choice to go right after that.
What was the last paper you read on APA.org?
You're not useful. It's not useful to grandstand like this.
Well, that's
I haven't gotten a word in.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
I haven't gotten a word in.
Not
Not one word in.
Go ahead,
not one word. This is unfair. I mean, you're not even hearing my point. I'm not saying body count matters. I'm saying it depends on many factors.
Go ahead, Choice.
It's not strictly body count that matters. There's context as to what's going on with a person.
So clearly, if there's context that would make it matter, it does matter to you, MJ. Disingenuous number one. Disingenuous number two, you were the one who brought up your credentials as if that would bring some kind of authority or validity to your point. Oh, and he ran. But clearly, he was trying to make a point with that, and then he was too scared to provide even the specialty that he is in as a quote-unquote medical doctor. But I don't know if he would be one with that level of patience. It kind of worries me, though he did have the arrogance and entitlement of a potential. Okay, yeah.
MJ, you can come back up. I didn't kick you. I don't think any of my mods said it would have told me, but you can come back up.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I got logged out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You let me know when it's my turn to speak.
You can go ahead. Go ahead. What do you got?
Okay. So one, yes, while different specialties of medicine, including psychiatry, may be more qualified for that, all doctors are trained for the warning signs in the general history based on certain answers. For example, I may not be an addiction counselor or specialist, but I do know the questions to ask in the general history that indicates someone might have a problem with addiction, at which point I would then refer that person to an expert. Does that make sense? You don't need to be an expert.
Sure. So how's your doctorate here play into it? What
One
kind of
more thing.
knowledge would you
I
have?
didn't bring up that I was a doctor. I was asked if I... No, I... Now, this is just reality. Somebody asked, what is your profession? They said, are you a psychologist? I said, no.
Nobody
They said,
asked
are you a
what was-
doctor?
Okay, no.
Yes, you
I'm
did.
not being
Please
gaslit. I'm not going to be gaslit. Shut the
You're
fuck
not
up.
being gaslit.
I asked, stop
Who speaks
talking.
like that?
Hey, doctor.
No, Jeff, you grandstanded enough.
somebody
It's
mute the
my
monkey.
turn to speak.
Somebody mute the monkey. Okay, so I asked you if you were a psychologist. You answered you were a doctor. Nobody asked you what your profession was. It would be like if I said, are you a psychologist? And you said, I work at Burger King. I don't give a fuck about that.
This is why you guys think you win arguments. You don't let the other person speak.
Choice. You want to go?
It's Charlie Zelenoff. That's what this is.
MJ, I feel like you're very privileged and very entitled to feel attacked.
You don't know me.
by
I
any
haven't
of
said
this
anything.
conversation.
I haven't said
So-
anything for you to inform any opinions of me, good
You
ma'am.
have said a lot for me to have
No, I
opinions
haven't.
of you, buddy.
So let me ask you a question. 17-year-old girl comes to you and says they have had 20 partners in the last week, and you say, you go, girl.
That's
that was your daughter.
I would ask,
okay, 20,
have you been
20 years
using
old.
protection? Have you been
20
getting
yes.
tested?
Wait, no, wait,
Are
wait.
you in a
Why are you
safe
at-
place?
Yes,
And then if she
exactly.
said yes
Don't talk
to
over
all of
MJ. Let her
those,
finish.
if
Yes,
she said
great
yes
point.
to those, I would say, good. Are you doing this because you enjoy Smex? Do you feel safe with this? Do you have safe partners? If she said yes, I'd say good. And again,
So would I.
probably be like, oh, do you have a good OBGYN that you trust? Do you have a good adults that you can trust to talk about? Are you finding the things you enjoy about your body or that you don't enjoy? Are your partners respecting those things? Those are the questions I would be asking. I wouldn't be asking, oh, are you addicted? Are you traumatized? None
Neither
of
would
that. And
I.
if you were actually a doctor who was taught on
Yes.
this stuff, you would know this. I have
I do-
volunteered
You're-
in survivors group with actual psychiatrists who specialized in this
You're
for almost
literally
15
making
years.
things. I
You
agree with
are
everything
full
you're
of it.
saying. I'm agreeing with everything you're saying.
No,
Like, you're
you're
literally
not.
making me
You
a
were
bad
trying
person.
to be this
No, I'm
quote-unquote
not.
good guy, quoting
No, I
that, oh, it's
wasn't.
not a problem, except, but, blah, blah, blah.
No,
Your
I
mask
never.
is slipping.
No,
Your
no. What you did
misogyny is
was.
apparent, and
This
your
is
arrogance and
crazy.
entitlement is very clear.
This is crazy. So the answer is I would ask all of the questions you're asking, but I wouldn't just hear it and move on. I think it's important to dive into the context, as I think the host would agree.
And if she
the first thing I
answered
said,
yes to all
can I
those things,
speak?
that is
I'm
the
speaking.
context, you
I'm
move
speaking
on
now.
because he
Now
is
I'm
saying,
speaking. I'm in the middle of speaking.
Can you please mute him while he's
No,
trying to
I'm
make
in the middle of
disingenuous
speak-
arguments about a
How can we not
traumatized
in-
teenage girl?
All right. Yeah. Go. Yeah.
So
Choice. So you want to go up and finish, and then he can go afterwards.
Yes. So you would ask a teenager these questions because I have heard these questions be asked in group settings in multiple times for decades of the specific issue, for, well, a decade and a half. And you would not immediately go into, oh, they said yes to all these things. They're talking freely. They feel safe, all of this stuff. I'm going to immediately follow up with, they need to go to a therapist because I think they're lying to me. No.
Okay.
They would listen to their patient. They would listen to what they're talking about. They're making sure that they're safe. That is it. You are being 100% disingenuous, and there's no way that you actually work in this field. So
Okay.
again, I'm going to ask, what is your specialty? And when
MJ,
did you
you
go
can
to
go.
medical school?
I've
Go ahead,
never
MJ.
seen such a straw man argument in my entire life. At no point did I do or did I make any claims of anything you're saying. So let me tell you clearly what
Just
I think
respond to
now.
what she said.
And then
Yeah, just respond.
No. She made some accusations. I have a right to defend what I'm saying first. This isn't an interview.
Talk about
So
a
let me
privileged
respond to what I want
white
to say.
attitude.
Please
Just
don't
respond to
interrupt.
what she said. Just
Please,
respond to what she
no,
said. Just respond to what she said.
No.
All right. Then
It's not
fuck
my job
off.
to
Then fuck off. Then.
I just want to remind everybody, and I don't know why people act like you could tell who the gaslighters are, right? Because they act like we're having this conversation. I say this all the time. It's like we're having the conversation on the phone. It's just me and them, and they could be like, I never said that. But there's a whole bunch of people here who heard him say it could be an indicator of, and then said mental health. I didn't say that. Choice didn't say that. The talking lemur said that.
What's going on, Violet? How are you?
I'm doing well. Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon. And I'm just looking for opposition. Do you disagree? Do you think body count matters?
Yes, I think it does.
Okay, cool. I just need to know your age first. How old are you?
I am 27.
27. Alrighty. Why do you think body count matters?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about the body count, I'm assuming we're talking about the number of people that people have partaking in the procreational act, right?
Yeah, if that's your definition of a, yeah, everybody sort of has a different definition of a body, quote unquote, but sure, if that's yours.
So, with that being said, right, the issue at hand, for me personally at least, is the fact that, you know, a woman can get pregnant. And then it's going to be a lot of biological labor on her part, right, as well as the postpartum period. Although it is socially acceptable for men to walk away from that. So I just think that it's not smart to account a high body count.
It's
Just
not
because there's a lot
smart.
of, yeah, it's a lot of risk involved in that, right? So I think we ought to be more careful about that.
Okay. What do you classify, interesting, one second, what do you classify as a high body count?
I guess I would say that anything that's over like 8 people, it's questionable to me.
You said 8?
Yes.
How did you come to that number? Like what's specific about that number?
I guess I'm basing this off of anthropology, right? And essentially what a human mind and body was meant to tolerate. And as far as I know, a typical number of people that we encountered at that time throughout the history, anywhere between 1 to 5. But given the modern context of the environment and everything else, I understand that it takes people usually a couple of tries before they settle down and, you know, find their person and things of that nature. So I understand why body count exists. I just don't really, I guess I wouldn't advocate for it to be incredibly high because I think it's risky.
Okay. Guys, keep tapping and sharing. Make sure you send in the heart me if you're enjoying the live. Follow myself, Choice, and Jeff. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Go ahead, Choice.
Yeah, so my response to that is trying to police women's body count because of the dangers men pose is a lot of internalized misogyny there. Yes, there are risks for women when it comes to experience or going out and enjoying sexual activity and finding sexual partners, especially when they are men. But that isn't a problem with schmex in itself. That's a problem with how we socialize men, with patriarchal standards, with how we shame schmex, but we still, and mostly for women, but not for men. That's not anything to do with body count. So obviously we advocate for safe schmex, for getting tested, for asking for testing before you have schmex, for trying to find partners that are safe with you and will respect your boundaries. Even if you do all of those things, even if you are quote unquote as safe as you are, that's still not a guarantee you're going to be avoiding SA or grape or anything else. And I think if that is really the worry, then we should be addressing the problem, which is violent men and not women enjoying their sexuality and wanting to explore what they like with their bodies. And also, you're making a claim anthropologically that 7 or 8 bodies is as much as our bodies can handle. And I would very much like you to cite a source for that, because that seems a little ridiculous. Just like eating or defecating or sleeping are very natural bodily functions, so is schmex. So if you're going to claim a normal bodily function is harmful after a certain amount, you're going to need to provide some kind of proof for that.
Go ahead, Violet. You can unmute.
Well, I'm not sure which point to respond to. None of that necessarily addresses what I actually said, right? At the end of the day, human reproduction is messy, right? Whether you're a man or a woman. So with that being said, given the type of consequences that women typically pay, because it's socially acceptable for men to walk away should something happen, right? I think that both men and women ought to be more careful with the amount of people they choose to sleep with. That's all I'm saying, right? I don't moralize that, right? I'm not saying that this is only applicable to women. All I'm saying is that I don't think that that is a smart thing to do.
So Violet, again, you didn't provide a source for your claim saying that 8 bodies was the most that we can handle. And also, yes, pregnancy is a much more severe consequence physically for people who can get pregnant compared to men. And that is something that women, people who can get pregnant, that is their responsibility that they need to take part of. And that is why abortion is an option. If someone doesn't want to or cannot remain or any other reason, that is an option for it. So again, if this is truly the argument, what you should be doing is socially trying to promote women's bodily autonomy and their access to free healthcare instead of telling them to avoid a normal bodily act while accepting men going around doing it consequence-free.
Again, I never made those claims, so I'm not sure if you're talking to me or just in general.
Well, you made the claim that, like 8-9 bodies was what we are supposed to handle, and you said anthropologically that is just the case for moderns, so that would need a source.
Yeah, so this is based on what we have found throughout anthropology, right? We know that the average
source.
lifespan-
You saying that it's found throughout anthropology isn't a source. It's not proof. A source.
I can
A
find it.
study. A title.
Yes, I can find it. I don't recall it from the top of my head. But yes, we know that the average lifespan for a human
No,
being
you
is
can't
about
keep telling
85.
us facts. You can't take making claims until you provide the source. Provide the source that's backing these claims, and then we can hear it.
Keep tapping and sharing, guys. Again, send in the heartbeat if you can, and we'll get to a new guest at 145,000 likes. And make sure you follow Choice and Jeff. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And I probably will be wrapping this up. Let's see. I'll take another guest or two or something like that. So I'll still go for a little bit, but yeah, probably a couple more guests. And we'll wait for Violet to come on back. But yeah, Violet, just try to hurry up, I guess. What else? I don't think there's anything else. We'll just wait for Violet to come back. But Violet, I will be getting to another guest, I guess, shortly if you don't come on. Yeah.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I mean, I can have you on mute for the time being and get to another guest. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Bye.
Can I make a quick comment?
Sure.
I didn't really want to get in the middle of that particular conversation, but I'm also uncomfortable with the infantilizing of women as if like pregnancy is a foreign concept to people who can get pregnant. If we are going by the Fry's model, one of the pillars is informed, which I think people who can get pregnant understand that they can get pregnant and are hopefully consenting to the act of sex under those pretenses, which is again why I agree with Choice that giving the women access to healthcare for their own reproductive health is important, so that when you make the decision to have multiple partners and you consent to that paradigm, like I think it's just infantilizing to be like, hey, women are going to get pregnant and they had no idea. Like, I think that's silly.
100%. It's really, and that's where that internalized misogyny comes from, assuming that we're victims of these actions that happen to us instead of something that we choose to engage in and enjoy. But again, her argument really just stemmed to women having bodily autonomy and healthcare and having basically mutual respect and choice when it comes to our reproductive rights like men do.
Sunny, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna give like a real take on this because I'm experienced in this topic.
I just need to make sure. Are you opposition? Do you think body count matters?
So a man's body count does not matter. A man is made to spread its seed, but a woman's body count matters because her main value is a body count. No man wants a used car with a loose pom-pom with trauma because that is your main value.
All right, hold on. Just hold up 2 seconds. Yeah, David, thank you for. No, I'll read this. Did you send a super chat? Is that a super chat, David? Let me know, David. All right. So what is it? What's her main purpose? You're about to say something stupid. You already
woman's
did.
main
purpose is what?
Biology is to raise children, right? To bear children. Like
says who? Wait, says who? Says who?
Biology. All right, men. Why would I look at a woman that's? If I want a marriage material woman, right? I want a fresh woman. It's like me getting a dog.
What the fuck does a fresh woman mean? That's like the weirdest thing. What the fuck does that mean?
Let me say this. I don't want a used woman with a loose pom-pom and trauma.
All right, goodbye.
That's coming.
Fuck out of here.
So when he said fresh, he meant girl. Just making that clear to everybody.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, David, thank you for the super chat. I see it now. Thank you so much. W. David in I guess YouTube and TikTok as well. W. David. Thank you.
This isn't my reference. Somebody said this morning. So this is just I'm interpolating this, but that man was a desiccant packet. If you don't know what that is the thing that they put in products that says "do not eat." It absorbs moisture and keeps them dry. That is what that man was, a desiccant packet.
What's up, guest? How are you? What's his name? The Orwellian Dream. What's up? Are you there? Hey, guest, are you there? Going once, going twice. Goodbye. All right. Let's get to the next one. Again, we are looking for ops. Anybody thinks body count matters? Ari, I think you're friendly, I believe. But let's see. Ari, what's going on?
Hey.
Hi.
So,
do you think body count matters?
No. I was actually wanted to respond to the first guy that says he was a doctor and everything.
Yeah, I am just looking for ops. All right. I am just looking for ops, though. I like opposition people who think body count matters. So let me go ahead and break you back down to comments. Don't take it personally. I'm just trying to keep it to a minimum as far as friendlies go. Okay, guys, remember, please, we're just looking for ops. Okay. I'll take one more guest, one more opposition guest, and then we will wrap this up because I've been live for quite a while. All right, and then as far as rating someone, we will rate. We'll rate RTP, okay? Obviously not right this second since we still got one more guest potentially, but that's who we will rate. All right, and I'll give it like a minute or two for somebody else to come up. And if you guys enjoyed the live, follow myself, Choice, and Jeff. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, okay? All right, I think we got somebody in the box. Noah.
Yo, I got a question.
What's up, Noah?
I got a question for Jeff.
Do you think body count matters?
That answer isn't really cut and dry. It requires some nuance. But can I ask the question to Jeff first?
I got your answer. Look, if you send $50 to Doug's Cash App, I will autograph anything you want. And
oh no, I just want to ask you a question about
well.
somebody else that you know. Brett Cross. You know Brett Cross?
I know Brett Cross. Look, it would be 100 for his autograph. I'm a message Brett right now and see that and tell him somebody looking for his autograph.
Does anybody know? I mean, it sounds like you guys know who Noah is. I don't like. Does anybody know what he was about to say? Probably something shitty, I would imagine.
He's kind of a common troll on a lot of these kind of lives.
Is he? Yeah. Well, I guess good thing I kicked him then. Yeah, he probably was going to say something stupid. And again, make sure you guys join Discord as well, since I announced there ahead of time when I go live. And if you want to be just part of the community in general, the link is in my bio. All right. Well, let's just wrap it up. Yeah, we'll wrap it up. I may be live a little bit later, potentially, but I will wrap it up for now. And again, we'll rate RTP. His handle's RTP Talks. Choice, you want to say anything before I end it?
No, I just thank you so much for having me up. I really appreciate it.
For sure. What about you, Jeff?
People of the world, I come in peace. Stop saying stupid stuff.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, guys. I'm going to go bring you down, Jeff, as well as you, Choice. Thank you, guys. And again, join or subscribe to YouTube. It's Dougielifts. Make sure you follow TikTok. Same thing, Dougielifts. And I'll potentially see you guys later, if not for sure tomorrow. And hope everybody has a good one. Enjoy RTP's live, okay?